Hannah to start?
No,
No?
just enjoy the class.
Any
We really
housekeeping
appreciate
rules,
you
laws?
flying in
Yeah,
and not
absolutely.
charging us and
Absolutely.
all of that.
What's your name?
How cool is that, you guys?
Lunchtime estimate by chance? Lunchtime estimate?
I don't have an estimate, but I'll come in and give you a report.
Cool, just let me know. We can go with the flow. So, awesome. Well, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys having me out here today. I was out in Katy, Texas yesterday, and happy to be here today. So, I always kind of like to start, especially with a room this size, kind of getting to know everybody a little bit, so it takes just a second. Maybe you just don't mind telling me your name, and I'll try to remember, and how long you've been in the business. We'll just kind of go down the roads real quickly. Okay, awesome. Okay.
Gabby Rodriguez.
Just started, awesome.
Well, here's just started.
Started, okay. Restarted. Awesome.
About a year.
Awesome.
Cindy XL, 5 years.
Okay. 7 months, awesome.
Terry Estes, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Anybody beat 3 weeks? No? Alright. Love it.
Yeah.
Take in the learning.
Kirby, 15 years.
Kirby.
Awesome.
5 years.
My name is Chris Holbrook. I've been with Keller Williams for 2 years and other companies for a couple of years before that.
Jen Husband, 7 years. Kathy Lee, 6 years.
That was 7 months.
Laura Fitzgerald,
I
about
picked up a
5.
string.
Awesome.
Jordan Schiller is hard.
Nice. Congrats.
Matthew Moult, 9 months.
Norman Wolf, I'm actually mortgage.
Awesome.
David Hofstra, year and a half.
Okay.
Kelly Collins, I guess about a year.
She loves Curie.
Yeah.
She does.
Love it.
These harp, I'd say about -3 to 4 weeks.
Alright.
Michael Huff, just shy of 5 weeks.
Okay.
No, 5 months.
5 months, okay.
You've been, I was gonna say,
Sometimes longer.
Melissa
and
Hewitt,
a drug.
8 years,
Okay.
but I do transaction management.
Oh, cool.
Melinda Zuber, 30 plus.
30 plus.
I beat everyone!
Judy Schrock.
And oldest probably in the room here.
Long time since 2003.
That's great.
Oh, that sounds so soon.
Carrie Poole, just over a year.
Over a year. Awesome. Congratulations. Well, awesome. Well, I really, again, want to say again, I appreciate you guys letting me
This is
come out
Trina,
here today.
she's new.
Howdy.
One here and one here.
Good.
And
Good,
there might
good.
be
All
one.
right. Well, are you guys ready to dive in?
Looks like there's one.
Cool. So I know the class goes till 1 today. You know, with Anna's permission, I'm going to be here till 3. If that's okay. Not teaching, obviously, but I'll be here in Q&A type form and fashion, right? Is it fair to say everybody's on different levels as far as if you use Facebook, you use Facebook all the time, knowledge of Facebook? You guys got the Wi-Fi passwords, housekeeping, good to go? Cool. So I'll be here from 1 to 3. Is that okay with you, Anna? I'm here from 1 to 3. Awesome. Anything you guys need, whether it's, hey, I've never even started a Facebook page before, or hey, there's 100 subjects you talked about today and you lost me on some of them. Or, hey, I have a team and I want more, you know, higher level strategies that are more geared towards teams. That's what I'm going to be here for. So, just to dive a little bit into my history. So, currently I am the team leader of the Mike Nelson team out of Denver, Colorado, specifically Longmont, Colorado. I am also currently the regional director for the Mike Nelson team expansion. Anybody want to guess my age? So that's always the question I get. I started in real estate in 2012. Anybody that can do the math might say, what, 16, right? How does that work? At 16 years old, I started off as the team's ISA. So I was the full-time cold caller for the team. In between my breaks during high school, I did nothing but lead generation, expired, for sale by owners, anything that an ISA could talk to. That is what I did starting at 16. First 2 years in the business, I did right around 22 million in sales volume personally, and then helped grow the team to about 60 million in sales volume. We've been in business about 4 years now. It'll be about 4.5 in the next month or so. And then obviously, as you guys see here, social media presenter. I'll hit about 130 cities in the next 8 months. So if you guys have any friends, colleagues that are in other cities, there's a good chance I'll be in their area if you want to recommend it. So my real estate journey, so it started in 2012. Obviously our team is called the Mike Nelson team, so Mike Nelson is my father. He quit his job after 25 years at IBM and started in real estate, and I started marketing for free. You all know sometimes when you first get into real estate it can be a little slim, right? Yeah, going month to month a little bit, you know, until we get rolling. So basically he said, if you want to eat, you're going to help out. And I said, yes sir. 2013, 30 plus hours per week, I started to get paid marketing and online lead generation. So in our first year, our team only did 3 deals. Next year we did about 45. 2014, the team hired the first buyer's agent. I started as a full-time marketing manager, so I kind of transitioned a little bit out of the ISA role. Senior year of high school, I couldn't take on as much time, obviously calling and cold calling during classes. 2015, I moved to Rapid City, South Dakota, away from Colorado. Had the wonderful opportunity to play a little college football and study mechanical engineering. Then I got the magic bold touch. Does anybody take bold in here? So awesome. So at 16 was the first time I took bold. Don't tell Max that because I wasn't a registered member, yet I took it. So I took bold at 16 alongside my father. And then at 18 I took bold again, and that is ultimately what pulled me away from college at that point. Last step of bold with my parents sitting in the room, I told them I was no longer going to college as of that moment. So that is kind of my bold story of how I ended up getting into real estate full time. I turned 18 during my first bold, so it kind of was a great transition into real estate. 2016, I received my real estate license and started teaching Facebook ad classes. So I've been teaching these classes for about 2 or 3 years now. Personally sold, like we already talked about, 11 million first year, and then in 2017 we decided to grow from a team of 4 to 12. Now we're currently a team of 24, roughly. As of yesterday, we were 22. So in 2018, sold another 13 million personally. I am getting a little bit out of production, so I know a lot of people ask that. Are you still in production, traveling 130 cities? Not as much anymore. We also run expansion teams, so I'd be foolish not to say while I'm here that if you ever need help in any of these cities, that's where we're currently at. Northern Colorado, Denver, and Colorado Springs. Number one question I get is this PowerPoint. If you guys want the PowerPoint, we will definitely email it to you. Did everybody sign in on the sign-in sheet?
They can put their emails on. I'm going to pass it back around. You guys write your emails legibly so that he can see them.
Perfect, that'd be
Please.
awesome. And honestly too, I can find them on Kelly if that's easier
Yeah.
for you. Number 2 is if you guys want it immediately, and if you want all the content that I put out throughout the year, you go to Justin Nelson, #SocialREA. That is the Facebook page where I put a lot of the stuff out for you guys to following. And if you like that, my assistant does automatically send everybody that likes it the PowerPoint.
It's on Facebook.
It is on Facebook, yeah. So I'll just click on it real fast so you guys can find it. Give you guys a few minutes to do that, so you guys can stay in touch.
Just while we're doing that, I have a question. Can you
Absolutely.
explain to them what an ISA means?
Yeah.
When you throw some of those terms around, I'm not sure they understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So an ISA is an inside sales agent. So as part of the leverage piece of the MREA book, an ISA is an option that a lot of agents will use once they get to a certain production level that they no longer find that lead generation themselves is the best use of their time. So for example, Mike in his first year, he would lead generate pretty much every day and finally decided to say, my time is better spent building the team, and then hired me as an ISA to take over all of his calls for him. Obviously with a high leverage position. So yeah, great question. Great question. Any questions about ISA positioning? Anybody have ISAs here?
I still don't understand.
I am an ISA.
You are an ISA? Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, an ISA at its most simplistic level is paying someone else to lead generate your leads alongside of you.
And I'd say they can take the inbound leads or outbound leads.
Yep, fertility owners, expireds, internet leads, sign calls, all the above. That was kind of my position at the time.
And then tell them what you mean when you say you have expansion.
Absolutely. So, who's heard of expansion here within KW? You? Okay, perfect. So, let me give you an example. So everybody knows how the KW franchises are connected, right? In some form or fashion, we all report in franchises of a bigger corporate, like McDonald's, right? They all still report to the same corporate headquarters. So, for example, I have an agent in the Colorado Springs area. She called me, and she said, "Hey, Justin, I love the way your team operates. I love the systems you guys have. I love everything that you provide. by, however, you're in a different state. So would it make sense for her to join my team over 3 hours away? No, not my direct team, right? So what expansion is, and this is something that Gary Keller is pushing really hard right now, is it allows our team to expand into new markets. So for me, our average price point in our market in 2012 was $225,000. Is that pretty similar to here? What's your guys' average price point here? 250? Cool. That was 2012, my market average was 225. Our market average now, if you want to take a guess, 500. Could you imagine if in 2 years your price point doubled? Would that limit the amount of buyers in your market? It would make it a little more scarce, right? It's kind of the same method of if you're a real estate agent here and you go to Hollywood, would it be a little harder to sometimes find buyers at that price point, right? The reward's greater per buyer, however it takes a little longer between buyers. So what expansion does is it allows you to reach into other markets that you desire to and also find talent. So we had someone extremely talented call us out of the Colorado Springs area, and now she works for our team, but she is housed out of the Colorado Springs Keller Williams. So let's say, for example, you were like, hey Justin, I want to be on your team, however, I live a state away. I could go, awesome. We have an expansion model, and KW has an expansion model where you could work for our team virtually, right? All of our transaction coordinators would transact your transactions for you virtually over state lines. We provide all the leads for you. We provide all the systems and training that our team has provided over state lines. Does that kind of make sense of what expansion is? Why, as a market center, would you want expansion people coming into your market? Anybody want to take a guess?
Because expansion teams can often enable somebody that's not producing or needs coaching and training and get them into more production. And oftentimes the most profitable section of the market center are the people that haven't capped and that need the help.
So that's a great point. So everybody loves profit share, right? What is the baseline of increasing profit share? Company dollar, right? So if an expansion team can come in and recruit, so like when we went to Colorado Springs, our team is 2 or 3 people now. Who recruited those people for that market center? We did. We brought them from outside companies, so now that market center is receiving on average $18,000 to $27,000 more dollars per year in company dollar. So you can see why market centers now want expansion is coming in, because we recruit for the market center as well, and co-align with team leads and help them achieve the goals of increasing company dollars. Great question.
I just wanted them to just have an idea what you're saying.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. Expansion's something new. It's new in the last 5 years, so you're going to see a lot more of that. Do you guys have any expansion teams here yet or no?
We do not. We had one before I was team leader,
Okay.
and I graduate of ESO, and so I'm able to talk to them about it. I just wanted them to understand when you're throwing out terms and they don't know what they are.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you. I appreciate that. Perfect. Everybody able to find that if you were looking for it? Cool. Perfect. Awesome. We will keep going then. So, my big why. So, how did I transition from full-time production, running a team, to coaching? So this year, my coach really dug into me and said, hey, what is it that motivates you? What is it that gets you up in the morning? And I started to find that it was teaching. I absolutely love the Facebook classes. I absolutely love sharing knowledge I have with other people that fast-track my success because the same things done before me. So she challenged me and she said, how many classes do you think you can teach this year? And I said, well, I could probably teach my typical 24 in Colorado. And she's like, think bigger. So that's where I said, okay, well, how about 60? And she's like, think bigger. So that's where we ended up at 130 in 2019. So you can say that I'll live my life on the road for the next year. So it's it's an interesting transition. I say this and I put this up here because I love MAPS coaching. If you guys aren't involved in MAPS coaching, I'm not a MAPS coach. I'm not a part of the organization, however, I have MAPS coaches, so just know I truly believe in coaches. Whether it's MAPS or whether it's, getting with your team lead or your productivity program or whatever you guys have in that form or fashion, please do it, especially as a new agent. So. Cool. Now you guys ready for the good stuff? Ready to learn? Do I have your permission today just to be completely honest and blunt with you? Perfect, awesome. Is it fair to say I may challenge some of your limiting beliefs today?
Yes.
Good. If I don't, I haven't done my job, to be honest with you. Is it fair to say some of the stuff I say and teach may not be applicable to you or things that you want to implement? Absolutely. But is it fair to say that some of the things I teach that you don't want to implement are good to know?
Yes.
Absolutely. I teach a class back home and it's called Sign the Buyer's Agency. Do you guys have buyer agency out here? Basically walking them into using you per se. I teach a class called Sign the Buyer's Agency, or I may accidentally do it for you. What do you think I mean by that? Guesses?
They're gonna call you and you're gonna have a
Exactly. There's been many times throughout the years where you guys are going to find through our lead generation method, things like that. I used to teach this class quite a bit in Colorado, and it was crazy how many times we go through my internet lead database, and someone in the class would go, hold up, that's my client right there. I'm like, client? That's weird. And I'd be like, oh, so you have a signed agency with them? They're like, no, we just know them. I'm like, oh, well, that's good, because I put them under contract last week when they called me off our Facebook ads. Right? So just having the knowledge of what people are doing, right, in the market is extremely valuable. Right? Perfect. So, today's goal for me is to give you something that you didn't have. Probably fair to say we've all been to a class, especially a class at this length, where the information is just so overwhelming that you walk out doing nothing, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So my goal is for you to walk out with one thing. Average price point of $250. What's your average check then? About $6,500, $6,000. Is it fair to say one free 5-hour class if you walk out and do one more deal next year is well worth your time spent? Absolutely. Don't get overwhelmed, right? Do not try to walk out of here and do everything, because if you try to take these systems and do 100 deals next year with them, what's going to happen? You're going to crumble, you're going to break, and you're just going to stop doing Facebook lead generation in its totality. So, also, scarcity versus the abundance mindset. Anybody heard of that before in the KW system? Absolutely. I'm sure you guys have a market center of abundance, right? So for me, I say this because some people are scared to ask me questions, they think it's too personal with the team. Literally, if I know the answer to the question, I will answer it. What's the splits? What do we do here? How much do you spend in Facebook ads this month? What's your return on investment? What's the numbers here? Anything you guys have, please fire it away. We will answer with 100% honesty. Number 2 is help find your social media one thing. We live by this quote. Our agents have to memorize this before they even start. Because you need to be doing fewer things for more effect instead of doing more things with side effects. Make sense? You guys can kind of see how if you're doing Facebook lead gen, you're doing sale by owners, you're doing expired, you're doing open houses, you're doing cold calling, circle prospecting, you're trying to run events. Is that very effective? No. How many lead generation sources does Gary Keller say we should be doing at one time? 3. 3 is about his max that he believes we should be doing at one time. Max.
3.
And it's kind of progression, right? It's not 3 halfway done, it's 3 all the way to the wall with full anticipation. Cool. Right here. How many of you have been through a class like that? Right? This is too much, right? Is it fair to say Facebook can be pretty technical?
Yeah.
Right? Buttons change. Fair to say tomorrow I may teach something, and the next day the button's gone. Right? We're going to go through how to avoid some of those issues. So, cool. I make this class extremely interactive. So, love lots of answers throughout the class. What is social media? Throw it out there. What are your answers?
Socializing
Socializing, okay.
in a different way.
Way for people to connect. What are the buzzwords that come to your mind when you hear social media? That.
Noise,
Oh, you're okay.
negativity.
Negativity. You're good.
Millennials.
Millennials? Yep. Younger generations. Absolutely.
I feel like it started where we wanted to share pictures and connect with friends that we didn't get a chance to see all the time.
Absolutely. So, how many of you guys are from Conroe, Texas? Not very many, right? You're from other places that are distanced from here. Without social media, you probably have no clue what's up with their life, right? So it allows us that opportunity to connect. What else you guys got? Anything else come to your mind social media wise?
It's a way to earn income.
Absolutely. There's a business side of it, right? The problem with it is most of us think as users of Facebook, right? And that's what I'm going to go into. Who here has heard of BNI? Like a business networking group, right? Or referral groups, or hey, you're the only realtor in this group, or networking events. I'm going to give you an example. How many of us go to a networking event, we see 2 people there that we know, and we talk to them the entire time, right? Guilty as charged. And there's 100 other people out there that we know we should be interacting with because they're the people we do not know. My question to you is who's going to make you more money, the 2 you know or the 98 you don't know? Right? Don't get me wrong, the 2 you know are going to make you really good money because you're those connections. However, how much money are we losing by not knowing those 98? Right? So we're going to kind of dive into some numbers here on the average agent on Facebook here. I apologize, just keep shutting off. We're going to go through today's agenda in a second. However, I want to go through a few numbers and we're going to bounce around here for a second. Real estate social media stats. The average agent only has 338 friends on Facebook. Does anybody know how many friends you have on Facebook personally? Shout numbers. Around that number? Everybody right around 300 probably?
2,000.
2,000? Anybody else got a few thousand or anything?
I have 500.
All right, 1,000? Okay. 200? Cool. So the average only has 338. So across teaching this class to several thousand KW agents, the average number of friends on Facebook for $20+ million producers is 2,500. Is that number a little shocking? You're like, no, that's your personal Facebook. So the average personal Facebook on Facebook has 2,500 people. Is that a little shocking? Is it true that success leaves clues? Yes. Right? So if the average $20 million producer has 2,500 friends on Facebook, is 2,500 friends something we should be striving for? Yes. Is there some limiting beliefs though of, wow, how would I do that? I don't know everybody. Privacy, some things like that, right? So we're going to, privacy is a huge thing, right? Absolutely. So we're going to cover some of that. I apologize, guys. I'm not sure why I keep shutting off on me. So we're going back here. So we're going to touch back on that. So today's agenda. Anybody know what's on the left here?
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo, right? Who feels like their business, their next deal is Where's Waldo? I do, right? You're digging through leads, you're digging through your database, you're digging through your Facebook. I kind of like to represent this as the 2,500 people, right? With people that have 2,500 people, would your Facebook feed look like this? With 400 people, what do you got in today's world? You got politics on there that jump your feed up. You got all kinds of drama on there. Whatever's on there. If you could you imagine having 2,500 people of that on your feed? How would you stay connected with your kids, your grandkids? Because there's a piece of Facebook that's for enjoyment, right? We don't want to lose that just for the sake of business. So how do we do both of those without it affecting anything? And I'm going to say, I enjoy Facebook more probably than any of you because my Facebook has been separated into different categories, and we're going to show you guys how to do that. And then obviously on the right side, who wants to learn a little bit about Facebook ads? Obviously that's a big part of the class, right? However, for those that have read the NRA book, who has read that, by the way, so I can make sure how in depth I'm explaining it. If you haven't, please read it. A lot of the principles that we've built on are from that book. So they talk about a pyramid, right? What is built first on the pyramid?
Base.
The base. In Facebook advertising, the base is your personal page. A lot of people forget that. They go straight to running ads. Does anybody see a problem with that?
You don't have for lack of anything else, credibility because you haven't established yourself.
You haven't established credibility. Everybody heard of these hackers and things on Facebook? Yes. And they make these accounts? Yes. So if someone makes an account, let's say you don't have a Facebook account right now. Okay? That's all right. You're good.
She asked me to come in.
Oh, you're good.
Help you figure out.
Then you can change the settings so that it won't go to sleep.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to sleep though. I think it might just be the connection.
No, it's actually sitting in here.
Okay. I'll just keep talking.
Oh, there you go, man. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Thank you. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So I think the biggest thing is how do we separate our friends list out that we can have 2,500 friends and still truly enjoy the thing. So before I get too far into this, I want you to know I usually teach a 12-hour version of this as well.
A 12-hour version.
I just go. Like my body and teaching, I can just teach and you'll be here 5 hours later and you'll go, did he ever give us a break or a chance to get some water? So I say that for literally if you guys are like, we have break times made into here, but if you're like, hey, we all need a break right now because it's warm in here or it's cold in here or whatever it is, just let me know. Personal page interaction. Who has heard of the 33 touch plan before? 36 touch, 66 touch, whatever it is. That is now changing to the 75 touch. And I'm not saying it's an official change, however, who knows who Tony DeCello is?
Yes.
Diane Kokoska's husband, right? They started their business in Denver, Colorado. This year, he has been a big proponent that it's no longer the 33 touch and is now the 75 touch. Who can tell me what the 33 touch consisted of? Mostly. Emails, calls, mailings, right? Events. Is it fair to say if we doubled that to 75, things might get a little bit more expensive? Might get a little bit more time consuming. Do you want to protect your commission dollar? Is it under attack from different brokerages, right? Whether it's, I don't know, what do you guys have out here? Do you guys have any low rate brokerages?
Oh, there's a few.
5%ers that are coming in, things like that, right? Sometimes we're our own worst enemy, other brokerages cutting way down percentages. So I say that is, we're gonna teach you guys how we do our 75 touch plan. We do 33 touch in our EA book, and then the rest is social media. So we, free to say, social media is free, right? Absolutely. Should you be adding to your database each day? So put social media out of the back of your mind. Should you be adding to social media every single day? Yep. Because we call it the data bank, right? So if you put social media aside, and I asked you, how many are in your database? You have no idea? How about you? 1,000? Cool. Perfect. So now, if she says I should be adding to that every day, and I say social media is a way to make money, right? Like you said, should we be adding to our social media every single day? We should be adding people, right? And I know a lot of limiting beliefs are going to be, who do I add? Because who legitimately could say, I know 2,500 people in Conroe, that if I saw them tomorrow, I'd be able to recognize their name, their face, and who they are? No, not at all, no matter where you live. No, would not be possible. So, let's back up. So I'm just going to challenge some of your limiting beliefs right now. So our sample social media 75 touch plan is going to really put some things into your mind, like how do they do that, and I'm going to show you guys the pieces. So let's say, for example, in January I have a Happy New Year's Facebook message. I have 3,800 friends on my Facebook account. If it was New Year's Day, do you think that I messaged all 3,800 people Happy New Year's?
No.
No. Number one, why would I not do that?
It's time consuming.
Time
They
consuming.
limit you to 50 a day or so before they put you in jail.
They put you in Facebook jail. So very true. Because what do they think I am when I'm doing that many a day? Spammer, stalker. So just note some of the strategies we're going to teach you. Please don't just like go add 4,000 friends tomorrow, right? It's going to be over time.
Did you say that this presentation is going to be available to us?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, it definitely will. So we do some different things like, so each of my clients, sphere of influence, my sphere of influence is 500 people. Each of them get 15 likes on their post a month. So I like their post over 6,000 times a month. Anybody want to guess how long that takes me to do?
15 seconds.
Just under an hour a week. So can you see how it would be powerful if I had 500 in my sphere and each person posted one post a day and I liked every post during that time? Is that pretty powerful of the amount of touches?
You're talking about liking their page.
Liking their personal post. Yeah, absolutely. And we also comment on 5 of their posts per month. So, trivia time. You can think of yourself, you can think of your friends. How many times does the average person post on Facebook per year?
Oh, God, a lot.
365 times.
About 360. 360 times a year. Does that sound pretty ridiculously crazy? Next question. What do you guys do when you go to bed at 9 o'clock at night?
Turn my phone off.
Love it.
Charge my phone.
Love
Yes, a
it.
lot of people.
How many of you take your phone to bed with you?
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, over 90% of the population takes their phone to bed with them and will scroll on social media for at least 25 minutes.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah, that's true.
It's true. I'm not saying that we are. Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question, because I keep reading the same thing over and I have a question about it.
That's a,
You comment on 5 posts, that you said you comment on someone's post 5 times?
no, so great question. So let's say that I have a client that's a past client and they make 30 posts that month. I'm making sure that at least 5 of their posts that month get comments from me.
So you comment on on every one of your past clients at least 5 times a month? Okay.
Absolutely.
So
And
you
again,
just don't
click on like, you actually
I'll
comment.
comment. We're gonna go through some of that here in a second. Yeah,
Are you gonna talk about how you track it?
yeah, we're gonna absolutely talk about how we track it. That's probably the next 30 minutes of the class is all the tracking purposes. So yeah, great questions. So we're gonna get to some of that here in a minute. Do that. Common limiting beliefs is I want privacy. So if I told you today I want you to be at 4,000 friends by the end of the year, what comes to your mind?
I have to get another page.
You gotta get another page. What else? Privacy, systems, time, how long is that gonna take? So we're gonna kind of go through a quick little demo here. You guys have your computer, you can follow along. If not, that's what the PowerPoint's for.
Yeah, my limiting belief is that I don't want a hot mess, I don't want chaos.
Don't want chaos?
Something that gets, how and why, how is it gonna help, why is it, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean? How do I drive it, because I don't see how it's possible.
Is that light flick on right there, Mike?
Yeah.
Cool. That make it a little easier to see for you guys. I'm gonna step out here so you guys can see. Cool. So, one thing I try to distinguish my class of is how many of you have been to a class where it's very theoretical, yet you have no clue how they actually systematically went and did it, right? This is a lot of technical, so I'm going to try to keep the energy flowing high, however it can sometimes get, kind of mundane and just kind of slow, but, I truly believe I want you guys to walk out of here with good technical knowledge that you can implement tomorrow. So everybody see on my screen here something called Friends List. Who has used that before? Two. Do you know why only 2 people have used it?
Who's my two?
I don't know about it.
Me. Over here.
I know about it.
So,
Who taught you how to do it?
perfect. This can change your guys' business. I truly believe, I also apologize, I do not hold liable anything that pops on my screen. I don't even.
That's your privacy.
That's all right. I don't really care. Just know that a lot of people know that I teach Facebook classes, especially my colleagues. They will send some pretty funny things throughout the day sometimes that they know I'm teaching. They know it's talking about. So right here on the friends list, guys, I truly believe that each of my agents can make $80,000 by doing no lead generation other than using their friends list. And if they don't, we have a serious conversation with them. That's how much I believe in the friends list. So everybody follow me where the friends list is up here on the screen? Everybody see that, right?
Is this your personal?
This is your personal page. So just to make sure that we separate things here, the next hour or so, we're only talking personal page. We are going to talk nothing business page for the first hour. Okay?
Justin, she's asking why she doesn't have it on her device. You
Right.
and I were talking about that this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So the friends list will not be on your mobile device or any iPads. You will have to do this piece from your computer.
Okay.
Great point.
I've got more attention.
Yeah, great point. So right here, we're going to click the friends list button to start. What it's going to do is it's going to pull up all of these different categories. So I'm going to take another step backwards here and go, when you log on to Facebook and you go on your home page, this is your news feed, right? What shows up in your news feed?
Other people's stuff.
Other people's stuff. Whose stuff? Your friends, right? So if you have 300 friends, all of their stuff is going to appear here, right? So if you went to 4,000 friends tomorrow, where would all those 4,000 friends stuff go?
Right there.
In the news feed. I'm going to refer to this now for the rest of the class as my junk feed. Okay? Because if you got to 4,000 friends, 1,000 friends, even if you got to 800 friends, this would turn into junk, right? If I wanted to see my kids, where would I go find them? How far could they be? Grandkids, could you ever find anything you want to see? Would you miss things that you'd want to see?
Yes.
Absolutely, unless you sat there for hours and hours a day scrolling. So the friends list here allows us to not have to miss anything we don't want to miss. So when you hit the friends list button, we're now going to create a list, okay? I'm going to create a list called my SOI. Or even better, even easier, I'm going to call it my family. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a few of my family members real fast.
So it pulls up the ones that you have.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So you guys can see I created a list, named the list, added a few members. You don't have to add them all at once. When you hit create, it now has my screen has now changed where it says my family. And if you give it just a second, it's going to update the screen and all of their posts are going to come into here. So now when I'm on the screen, whose posts are in this list?
Only your family.
Only my
Or
family.
the people you.
The ones in that list.
The only one from the list. So now, if I have 4,000 people on my friends list, do you think I ever use the junk feed?
No.
I don't ever use the junk feed. Whenever I log on to Facebook and it gives me this, I don't do anything in this, except when we sell a home and we post, how many people have posted a home they had for sale on Facebook before? All of us. Do you think we put that in the junk feed or just to the 3 people in my family?
Junk feed.
We put that in the junk feed because who gets to see it?
Everybody.
Everybody, right? So does that make sense of why you would post that there?
Reach more people.
Yeah. If you go out on vacation and you're like, hey, my home's empty for the next 2 weeks, think you're putting that in your junk feed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, probably not. We're not putting that in our junk feed, right? We're going to put those in the list that we want to put them in. And so when we go to friends list, you'll see my family.
Are you
then
saying you can post to just your family then?
you could just post to just your family. Yeah, so when I post in here, it says my family custom list. If I post in here, who's going to see it?
Just the ones in your,
Just those 3 people. They do not know that they're in these groups.
so that's our privacy.
That's your privacy.
Awesome.
As long as you set it up correctly, right? That's the start of it.
That's where you come.
Now, let's get away from pleasure, right? It's great to have pleasure on Facebook. You can add your family, you can add your closest friends as a group. But now if we get to business, how could these groups be very helpful? What type of list could you make out of here?
Like you can have
Absolutely. So like our top 3 are a sphere of influence. Everybody's got the methods, right, of A client, B client, C client.
Mhm.
I have a sphere of influence list. So if I have 3,800 friends, I have about 500 in my sphere of influence list.
Mhm.
Because now what do I do when I'm intentional about my Facebook time at night for 10 minutes? What list do I open up first and scroll through and like every single post?
Sphere of influence.
My sphere of influence, because the statistics say that they're laying in bed, they're on the couch, they're hanging with the kids, on their phone, and now what happens when you like their post?
It pops up.
It pops up. What happens if they post 2 or 3 times that day because they love Facebook, and you like 2 or 3 of their posts? Here's the thing: there's a limiting belief that they're gonna think I'm crazy because I like 2 or 3 of their posts in a matter of seconds. Here's the reality: who posts on Facebook to get 0 likes?
Nobody.
Exactly.
I don't post a picture of myself in a selfie with Anna and go, I really hope today that we get 0 likes. Right? I hope no one sees
No
this.
engagement.
Right? So, you know, with that being said, we all crave the likes, right? The reactions. That's just our human instinct. So, don't overthink it, just like it. Now, what I say is, if you got a list of, I'm going to go find a list that's actually working, it's not pulling up anything yet.
I think
Messages.
for me, when I think about it, I think of it as energy. And I think the more you can show care, like that's a way to show care
Absolutely.
and positive energy.
Absolutely.
And the more you do that, they'll really remember you.
Who's ever bought anything from Amazon? Yeah. How many of you get an email every other day, whether it's your spam email or your real email from Amazon, going, I think you should buy this, I think you should buy that? Yet we don't unsubscribe from them, right?
Right.
Even though we may hate it, we don't unsubscribe from it because we know instinctually we may actually want something from them in the future. It's the same thing
fear
here.
of missing something.
Exactly, the fear of missing out, absolutely, FOMO. It's the definition of that. So like here, example, I just made this one yesterday at the KD Market Center. On the list is 16 people that I called my list of 300. So now you can see when I'm going through here, if these were my past clients, in just a matter of seconds, I could like everything. Now let me ask you this. Do you think I would like that?
No.
Be selective. Don't go too fast, right? There's been times where I caught myself because someone called me and they said, did you just see on Facebook what you liked? I'm like, no, I liked like 700 things in the past 2 minutes. Right? Don't go too fast because obviously when you like things, it is a little bit of a representation of who you are. Right? And I'm not saying don't like something like that. However, do we all sell homes to both sides of the aisle?
Yes.
Right? Do we want to automatically possibly offend half our Facebook crowd by liking the wrong thing? I personally don't choose to. However, on that same subject, who in here likes politics? I mean, it's not a bad thing to admit, right? Who likes to associate with the same beliefs that they have? Right? So friends list is a great way to do this because if you have 100 friends that all think the same way you do, and that's your way that you want to communicate with them, could you do that in a friends list? Because you can like their stuff in the friends list and no one sees that you liked it. You can comment, you can make a post in the friends list and no one would see it except for that friends list.
Not even their friends?
Not even their friends, because it's in a friends list.
What if they share?
It's not shareable. It's in a friends list.
Oh, I didn't know.
Now they can screenshot it and send it somewhere. But that, the likelihood that anybody would ever do that's crazy. So, friends lists are critical. I mean, these can,
So go back.
yep.
When you're,
Hey Justin, I'm sorry to interrupt your class. I just want to let you know that am I interrupting?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Jan? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna tell you that the mortgage company brought some donuts in, so don't all get up at once, but stroll back here and get a donut when you want one.
Thank you.
Where I am.
only those people in that list can see what you want.
Correct. Yep. Absolutely.
What was her question?
So she just asked if I'm scrolling. So like, great question. So on the list is 16 people. She asked if I like this right now, would it tell the entire world that I like that? No. It would only tell the people in this group that I like that.
But only because you're in the
Yeah,
list.
absolutely, because I'm in the list. Now, let me tell you kind of I say creepy, but it's just really genuine. A creepy way that I use this is if I have a past client list of 100 people, I shoot a video in that past client list, and I go, today you are awesome because you're one of my favorite past clients. And I post it in this list. Because who's seeing that on their newsfeed?
Only your past client.
Only the people that are in my list. Would that be weird if I sent that to my 4,000 people that you're the best ever because you're my past client?
Well, yeah.
They're all gonna go, what? What are you talking about? Why did you post that to everybody? I can invite people to events through here. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that you're one of my best past clients and you're welcome to come to this event, right? Whatever that event is, right? Free party or whatever. And if I post it into here and my list is updated, only those people will see it. You can tag them in the post and it's not going out to the entire world.
But you can't share? Did you say you can't share?
Can't share.
It's not on the
So
list.
So
see,
it doesn't matter what their privacy is, it's because you created the list.
yeah, because see how it says like and comment here, and you're gonna see that there's no see there's so like if I shared this, it would be shared to my timeline because it's not my list. They can't share my stuff though. I can share their stuff. They can't share my stuff, which is what matters, right? If because here's the thing, the everyday user doesn't use list, right? You think the everyday user is using Facebook for fun and has 200 friends on here going, I really am going to use some lists today. No, they just get on their Facebook newsfeed and scroll. This is a business tool, and that's why most of us haven't heard of it through our day-to-day interaction with Facebook. So great question.
So these are posts of other people,
Yeah,
but they're in your group.
they're not in a group, they're in a list.
Yeah, don't make a group.
Yeah, don't make a group. Group would be awful.
Don't make a group.
This is a list.
So they're in your list,
Yep.
and they come on your feed because they're in your list. So you're allowed to share theirs.
They can't share yours. Yeah. Great question. Great question. So next question is,
So if you're making regular posts,
yep.
then they can share with us.
Yep. So if you guys have 300, we're going to cover that in a second. So if you guys have 300 people, would it be kind of time consuming to do this list right off the bat by memory? Who's on your friends list? Absolutely. So up in the top right here, there's a button called Manage List. If you hit Manage List and then you hit Edit List, it's going to pop up all of their faces in their profile pictures. So what it allows you to do is it allows you to go through the list and pick who you want in that list.
Instead of typing the names like you did earlier.
Right, all you have to have is one name to get it started.
Yeah, so like right here, if I were to add to the list, could anybody go through their 300 sphere and just spout it out to me right now? No, but you could go through your Facebook list and find their picture and it reinstated a thought of, hey, they should be in this list. So that's under Manage List, Edit List, and then all their faces will pop up and you'll be able to see their names.
But only if you have created one.
Yeah, you have to create one first. Yeah, so you can just have one person. Now I can scroll through here, I can search people, I can just click, hey, they're in my list, they're in my list. Oh, she's in my list now. I could add these different people to my list, and as soon as I hit finish, it's going to update my list. Cool. Let me give you another example. You get friend requests. So once you do this once, you never have to do it again. So because when this friend comes in, Michael, thanks for the friend request, I'm going to hit confirm, and I'm going to hit Michael's name. And now when I open Michael's Facebook profile, what I can do right here, see these three little dots? Oop, they moved it since yesterday. See where I scroll under his friends button? It now allows me to add him to a list. So add to another list, and it brings up all of the lists that I currently have. So like after today, what am I going to do after you all send me a friend request?
Have a Conroe list.
I'm going to have a Conroe list. So that way, if I'm ever like,
know who you are list.
exactly, absolutely.
I mean, I kind of,
Yeah.
a bunch of those people.
Absolutely. Who are they list? A high school list. Things like that. So great question.
Can a person be on multiple lists?
Absolutely, yeah. They can be on multiple. So like my family, they're also in my family list, but they're also on my sphere of influence list. So when I get on Facebook and I want to look at my family, let's go to my family list. But it's fair to say our family may be in our SOI, right? They may need to be invited to the events or liked on a daily basis. So there could definitely be multiple groups. So honestly, I think that agents are crazy if they stay in their main newsfeed because it's not intentional about your time.
Right.
Right? Even if you have 300 people, I guarantee of your 300, 200 of them probably aren't totally worth your business time, right? And so now we can get those people into a group on their own. So, average person posts 360 times a year. Let's say we as agents fail 50% of the days, or not fail, but don't do them all. That's 160 or 180 days a year. There's 180 likes on someone's post throughout a year, quite a bit of touches on them.
Yes.
It's a lot more touches than we're doing now, I can almost guarantee, right? So that was a big mindset shift change for us, was how do we stay in contact? Because is it fair to say the phones aren't always fun to call on? But
Yes.
yeah, but should we be doing it?
Yes.
Absolutely. However, can it break it up a little bit if you call for 30 minutes, your sphere, and then you spend 30 minutes on Facebook doing something like this, right?
Yes.
It breaks up that feeling of I'm 2 hours into this instead of, because our natural instinct is to play on Facebook when we don't want to lead gen, right?
Let's be honest.
What? That's our natural instinct. So now we can fulfill that natural instinct and still get business done. So any questions on that before I move on? Pretty straightforward. Yeah, absolutely.
You add a person to a specific list, they're still going to show up in your home newsfeed.
Yeah, your junk newsfeed, absolutely. So if you wanted to go through your junk newsfeed for whatever reason, absolutely. Just know that if you use your list only, that's all you're ever in, and someone's not on your list, then their stuff is just buried in the junk newsfeed, so you might miss them. That's why it's critical. Most of you guys are in a really good position because you all have under 1,000 friends. So if you set it up today, or whenever you set it up, and it's set up correctly, and you go through the faces and make sure you didn't miss anybody, you're not going to ever miss anybody. And then as you start adding friends, when they accept your request or when you accept theirs, you can just add them as you go, and it's really easy over time to grow that list. So now the question is hey Justin, that's great that you can sort 4,000 people. However, I don't have 4,000 people. I don't have 1,000 people. I don't have 1,200. I think that's the other thing is we use the 4,000 number to kind of get that limiting belief out of you. Do I really think that you should have 4,000 by next year? No, I don't even have 4,000 and I've been doing this for 5 years, right? However, you can see that it's a mindset of just getting above 300. So this is kind of a general rule. We kind of call it the rule of 460. I don't know why 460, it just worked out well. This is something we kind of make all of our team members do now when they join the team. So we broke it down into how do we get people to join our Facebook list and not just be random people, right? People you don't know. We may not know all of these people, however, it's at least a 1 degree of separation. Hey, Susie may know this person, and they may know this person, but I don't know them. So, high school friends. How many of you didn't go to high school here? Most of you, right? And so now what we can do, can we still sell homes in either other parts of Texas, refer other parts of Texas, or even other states?
Yes.
Right? So what I do is once a month in these groups, I have a group of, like I lived in Fort Worth for 13 years, even though I live in Denver now. When I lived in Fort Worth, I had a lot of friends that are at my age, 23, 24, a lot of them are engineers like I was, and they're all starting to get through the buying process. So I shoot a video once a month into this group and I go, hey guys, I know you're all in Texas and I'm in Denver and I know you know I'm an agent, however, I want to make sure you don't lose money and get you a good agent. If you ever need any real estate help, I can help you. Do I want my junk feed to see that? No, I want them to see it though. Yep.
Now you're saying group. Are
Wait,
we,
he
we're
didn't
no
mean
longer
to.
in
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
creative?
No, Facebook list. Yeah, it's an interchangeable word you're gonna hear everybody use. It's a
Never
list.
group.
Don't use group. Don't
That's
group.
why I was
Yeah,
asking.
great question, great question. Yeah, I use it interchangeably. However, Facebook list.
What's the downsize of the group?
The group, so like, let's say you start a group called My Family Group. When you add them to the group, they know they're in there.
Okay, so if it's
I
a
see.
group, you know you're there.
So like someone in my past class made a mistake. They said loved friend group.
Oh. And that's how it shows up?
That's how it shows up when you make a group.
Okay, yeah, so my aunt always posted the family group.
Yeah.
And it'll pop up, I'll get an alert that
This
she
is
has posted
in the family group.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's different. These lists are hidden. So
Okay.
yeah, be very careful not to use group because she had some upset friends.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, uh-oh.
Who wants to be in the unliked friends?
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Awesome. Someone's putting together up here the ex-boyfriend group is what I just heard.
That would be unlike.
Actually, yeah. Someone may do that on purpose, actually, though. So cool. So who are my new friends? So we like to say the average person can get about 200 high school friends in there. And what we do to do this method is we find the 5 or 10 people we know. Yearbooks are great, however, we don't always have them. 5 to 10 people you know off of your high school friends list. When you go on their friends list and you spend some time scrolling through their friends, we found on average that you can find about 200 people that you know, maybe not well, but you did know, or they could recognize you if they knew your name, right? It's all about name recognition. I like to start on this group with, if they would know who I am through conversation, even if it took a few seconds to remember me, I'm gonna add them. And why am I gonna add them? Because I don't care any longer about the privacy, as long as my lists are being done correctly, right? I'm not saying add total strangers, there's gotta be some, thought process behind, oh, thank you. We'll flip that on and off to make sure you guys stay awake, so. So everybody kind of understand how we use the high school list? Because now, if Sue, who I talked to in high school 10 times, didn't really know me, didn't really know her, but we could recognize each other through a conversation, I want her on my list because how many people does she know that could help buy or sell homes in real estate? And we're going to talk about how we get those people that we kind of really don't know to like us, love us, and refer us business without ever even maybe meeting them again in person.
I've gone out of my way to stay away from people from high school.
Yeah.
But what you said about, it's about name recognition.
Absolutely. Because here's the thing, you don't have to communicate with those people. You don't have to message them on a daily basis and go, hey, my name's Justin, how are you doing? That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it? However, what we're going to show you is our posting strategy of how they kind of get to know you and interact with you without you even ever interacting with them. So.
What about the people that you don't, you have like no mutual friends? I usually just automatically delete.
So I'm going to tell you this. For me, it must be just because I'm ugly. However, you guys usually as women get a lot more friend requests and messages in your inbox than we do as men.
From strangers?
From strangers, right?
Like she said, there's no mutual friend
Yeah,
there.
so that's and again, I'm not saying men don't have that problem. However, women tend to seem to get a lot more of those messages. You all know what I'm talking about, where you're like, oh my God, what is in my inbox, right? I've never gotten any of those. However, yeah, absolutely. You still want to have some type of connection if possible. A lot of mutual friends. Someone that has no mutual friends, does that sound like a great idea?
No.
Probably not, absolutely.
And also, women do get a lot of those, and so one of the things that you really need to look at is always look at the profile, not only for mutual friends, but even if you have mutual friends, your other mutual friends may be connecting with them. Make sure it's not more, it's like more than 20 or so.
Yeah.
And the other thing is whether or not the profile has any content, because if the profile doesn't have content, these scammers aren't spending time creating content.
Content, yeah, they're just making it show.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing I want to tell you guys too. Oh, go ahead.
Does the list work on like your business page as well?
So no.
Okay.
So the list on we're going to talk about business page. There's going to be some shocking things come out of your business page. However, you guys are going to learn your business page likes and things don't matter at all anymore.
Yeah.
As of about a year ago. So we're gonna talk about some of that. We want to make sure you're spending the time on the things that are going to make you money and not the things that Facebook. Here's the thing. What's Facebook's #1 goal?
Make money.
Make money, right? They're gonna put it as we want to make connections, and maybe that's why it first got started. If you guys didn't know, Facebook was originally a dating site. Anybody know that? It was originally started. He started it as a dating site for his college. So that might have been the first intention, but now with the money in it. So if Facebook recommends you do something, do you think you should have some caution about why they're recommending to do such a thing? Right? They recommend you get a whole bunch of likes. I'm going to show you why likes are good, but they're not really important. So great question. So extended family, obviously cousins, things like that. Not all of us are all that close to our family. However,
Only 50.
Only 50, yeah, some of us have more. Spouses, this is huge for me, so significant others, whatever. going through their list. So how many times have you heard or happened to you where you're like, your husband or wife or partner was like, holy cows, so-and-so bought a home. And I'm like, well, how did they buy a home through someone random when they're your boss, right, or your coworker?
Right.
Why didn't they come through us? So we found that when we add the significant others list, what now happens? Let's take for example, who's married? Husband?
Yes.
Perfect. So, sorry, I just have to say that. Just have to ask. So your husband, you know, if you went and added 50 of his closest coworkers, right? If you had a job that had a lot of coworkers, you're not necessarily going to interact with them, right? However, when you do some of the posts we're going to show you, could you see how his coworkers would be like, oh, so-and-so's wife does this, right? Now, he's not having to have that conversation every day for you, because what's the reality that he's out there saying every day that you're a real estate agent? Probably not all that often, right? He's working, it's not the top of his mind. However, a lot of his coworkers may trust him, and if they knew you're a real estate agent, they'd use you, right? That could be right there with one more deal a year for you, honestly. Again, because why is it not weird? Because we're not communicating with them, we're not messaging them. There's a 1 degree of separation. It's not like his coworker would go, oh my lord, his wife added me. World's ending, right? And they'd be like, oh, okay, that's kind of maybe weird, but it makes sense, right? Right.
Now, could you explain that again? I'm
Thank you.
confused.
Yeah, great question. So, for example, what does your husband do? He's in the oil field, right? So her husband's in the oil field. That's a great one because they move a lot, right? You probably move a lot. She's actually just down the street from me. She used to live 30 minutes from me. Just found that out. So if she went and said, hey, who are your closest 5 friends on the rig? Or whatever he does in the oil field. And she said, and then you go, and she would go add them as a friend. Why would she do that? Because now when she makes real estate posts, what does her husband's friends see?
The post.
The post that she's a real estate agent. Now subconsciously, if she ever comes up in conversation, or the oil field workers need to move to a different state, or they have oil field workers moving in, who do you think they're going to recommend to be that agent? Because they trust who? Her husband and her now, you know, through her husband. And so we found that it's a great way to generate referrals from your coworker without really doing that much work. Yep.
Okay, so you have to request them as a friend before you can put them on a list.
Correct, absolutely. Yep.
How do you know if you're going out and doing all these friend requests, how are you gonna know, oh, that was my husband's friend that I friend requested, and make sure they get on the right list?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So it's a process built over time, right? If you went out today, and let's say your husband had a job where he had 200 people, and then you go add 200 high school friends tomorrow, and you're like, oh man, who's who?
Which is which, yeah.
Yeah, it would be very difficult to track.
You
Absolutely.
just do one at a time.
Yeah, so I usually focus on one at a time. So like, let's say for you, I'd go ask your husband today, who are the 5 people I should add? Maybe you write them down, maybe you notate them, whatever. And then, you know, when they come back in, it's going to notify you on Facebook, so-and-so accepted your friend request. As soon as they say they accepted your friend request, that's when you drop them into a list.
Okay.
And this is where you can see that 2 or 3 a day over a year is going to get you 1,000.
Okay.
It's really back to the MRA model of handwritten notes. Does anybody write 500 handwritten notes in one day to their people? Spread out over time. Yeah.
Does this completely bypass the algorithms as far as?
Great question. Great question. So 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I don't know the exact time frame, when someone posted in Facebook, how were the posts organized?
As they came in.
As they came in, they're chronological, right? Are they chronological anymore? Absolutely not. Because Facebook, what they did is people started getting more and more friends. So as Facebook goes over the years, would you say that the average person is going to gain more friends on Facebook? Right? So what happened is when people were starting to flee Facebook, because they had so many friends on their friends list, their news feed became junk.
Right.
Right? And so what they did to get that back was they said, instead of chronological, we're going to try to match your posts. So that way, even though you may have 1,000 friends, you're only going to see the top 100 people that you interact and like with. However, is any algorithm perfect? No. Do they truly know what I like? No. Especially as a business owner, if I liked your post 100 times, does that necessarily mean we connect all that well? Or was I maybe just have business intentions of liking your post that many times? So it ruined the algorithm. So what this does is the algorithm still runs within the list. However, it's running a lot less scale. So if I have 4 people on the list, and they make 5 posts, there's still an algorithm running in those 5 posts, but I'm going to be able to scroll through the whole list in a matter of 10 seconds, right? Or if I got 400 in my sphere of influence, do I really care what the algorithm's doing because I know that whatever's in that list are things I want to see? So yeah, it bypasses it, but doesn't, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay, so that's why we break it down. Because I don't care if the algorithm runs with my list of 100, because everything in that list, no matter what order it's in, is things that I want to like and interact with. Yep, great question.
Justin,
So,
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it helped me overcome my limiting belief of like a hot mess, or like what I've heard some other people say, strangers friending me that I don't know. I think when I took a step back last night and created my first list and started adding sphere of influence and past clients, I got partially done with the list and then looked at it and I was like, okay, so who's the most influential on that list? And I picked my friend Jason. And then I went to his profile and I friended his wife. I friended the city council person that he's friends with. I friended like 5 people that he knew, right? And then that night I got the response back that's like, your friendship's been accepted. And then I was like, oh, it's been accepted. That's not like a new friendship. I sent a request, they accepted, right? And because I was focused on just that one thing and just that one guy for that minute, I remembered to add them to that folder. Or I'm sorry, that list. Add them to that list, right? So when you're purposefully prospecting to add to one list at a time, it limits the hot mess and the people friending you don't know.
Totally
It compartmentalized it in my head and made it make sense.
Yeah, makes it much easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so to summarize, to make sure I understand, so you're saying that when you have friends list, if you use the list, you separate people into smaller groups, so then the Facebook algorithm doesn't work against you as much.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
But it still works.
It still works, right?
But so you probably want to make sure if you have a list that's getting too large, then you might want to sublist it.
Great question. So like for me,
And so what's too large?
so if like for me, sphere of influence used to be 100, right? At my age, so people were my sphere of influence list wasn't that much. Now it's at 500. So what do I do now? I have sphere of influence list A, sphere of influence list B, sphere of influence list C. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna get out of class today and I'm gonna have to work real estate for 5 hours for my production side. And then it's gonna be 8 o'clock at night. I'm gonna be like, I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. I fly out in the morning at 6 a.m. Like that. What do you think I'm gonna do? Do you think I'm gonna spend time going through 500 sphere of influence? No, but what I am gonna make sure I do? My sphere of influence. Right? Absolutely. It allows you to focus. You guys all have those days where you go home and you're just like, I don't want to do anything. But for me, I take the 5 minutes to go through my sphere of influence A to make sure that those things, that are being taken care of.
Essentially what you're doing is being more purposeful.
Purposeful, very purposeful.
Everything you do on there is more,
Yeah.
you can still do for fun, but if you're doing it for work.
So how many do you think is a cutoff point?
I'd say about 200. Because 200 means there's about 100 posts a day in that group. Which 100 shouldn't take you but 4 or 5 minutes maybe to get through 100 posts.
But you should read them.
Well, you can usually tell right away. Like, if it's a post like this long and I don't know what the subject matter is, I might skip that one.
Yeah.
Just so I don't have to read it before I like. But hey my dog, or hey my kid, or whatever that is, we're definitely just gonna throw a like. So just to remind you, timing is critical. A lot of people come out of the class and they do this at noon. Well, that's great. However, when you hit like on their post and the person's at work, and they get home 5 hours later, your notification could be buried in there. So timing is critical here too.
Do it at night.
Do it at night if possible, and that's why I'm so intentional about it, because I don't want to lead you in for 2 hours at 7 to 9 o'clock and be like, sorry family, sorry, sorry wife, we're not doing anything tonight because I'm going to like some things on Facebook. That wouldn't go over very well. But if you're intentional, for 5-10 minutes, then you're done. So timing is critical. Cool. So types of posts. So we're kind of breaking in about 20 minutes, if that's good with you guys. So types of posts. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So again, if you don't do this daily, people aren't going to notice you. If you do it on a Monday, and then you do it 2 months later on a Monday, and you do it 3 months later on a Monday, you think they remember those 4 posts? No. Likes? No. It's the consistency that kind of makes it like they almost expect you to like it. Like do you guys all have a friend that if you post something, you know they're gonna like it?
Yes.
No matter what it is?
So when I post something and this one particular person always sees it like within 30 seconds, it's because I'm on a list. Okay.
Very possibly, or they
Now I know.
or they're alerted. Great question. So we say there's 4 types of posts. So you're like, hey, that's great, Justin. I was able to get 460 more after today. I'm at 800, 900 people. let's say you added all your husband's friends. How do you interact? Because you're not just going to message them and go, hey, I know you know my husband, right? It's not going to work that way. Don't do that. It's a whole different story for another day about don't do that. However, what she could do is she's going to start making these posts, and then what are they going to do on their end? They're going to see that she made the post. Here's the reality. The average Facebook user outside of the real estate industry only has about 200 friends. So you got to remember, we sometimes get in the mindset of we have a ton of friends because we're agents. However, some of these people only have 80 friends, 90 friends. And if you're posting consistently, you're going to probably kind of be the star of their newsfeed. Right, we gotta remember what the average person does. Remember how you guys said we don't all take our phones to bed? Well, why is that? Because we're in an industry where we're on our phones all day. Most people are not on their cell phones all day if they're in a 9-to-5 job, so it's their relief time after hours. So we kind of have to step back and look down at it from a 10,000 foot level and go, oh, now I gotta attack it this way and not attack it as if it was me.
Question.
Yeah.
You're saying that if we have the list created, that and we post something that they can't share it.
That's correct.
So then how do we get to their friends too?
How do you get to their friends?
The same way that you're saying to get to her spouses?
Yeah, well, she would have to go on she would have to ask her spouse, who are your friends?
Right.
And then he would tell them the names.
Right, and then once she's friends with them,
Yeah.
then you want that to go out further, so then.
No, not further than that. I mean, I don't need to know her husband's friends' friends.
That's okay.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't make a lot of sense. It's just that 1 degree of separation. So, yeah, great question. So cool, so human versus sales robot. We get this all the time. How many times a month, a week do you post? Currently, we post our agents. Again, we don't mandate anything. However, this is part of the expansion stuff. Like when she was asking about expansion, if someone joined us on expansion, we would go, hey, you guys need to be doing this 7 times per week because I know it'll make you successful. These are the type of things that expansion helps us teach people. 7 times per week, we're doing the human versus sales robot. Who has ever seen an agent? And if you're guilty of it, I'm guilty of it too. Where for a while, all you post is closing photos. You don't really use Facebook that much, and then you only get on there to post your closing photo, and then you're off Facebook for another week, you post your other closing photo. I've been guilty of it too. So, however, is that very impressive to her husband's friends that all you take photos of is a closing table? Like, all right, she's an agent. What they like to know is you're a human. That's the key. Let me give you an example. If I were to post in this class right now, I sometimes run the example, I won't today though. If I posted a picture of a dog, say I got a new puppy, it was the cutest thing ever, how many likes am I going to get? If I posted a picture of my closing photo with 2 people sitting there signing papers, how many likes am I going to get?
The ones at the table.
The ones at the table, right? There are some, right? My friends,
It's all
not
their
very
friends,
many.
other agents.
So let me ask you this. She posts a picture of her new puppy and she gets 150 likes. And then the next day, she posts a picture of her closing. Is it fair to say that she's going to get more likes on that closing photo? And does anybody know why?
Made a connection.
She's a human, and if you take in bold, it's called your RAS, your reticular activator. Who has ever bought in a car, and then the next day, everybody else has that car magically on the street? It's the same thing. It's all about slowing the eye down. That's really what it is. It's slowing the eye down. So if someone liked her dog post yesterday, subconsciously they already know that they liked her dog post. They go, oh, maybe she has another great post. I'm not saying your closing photo is not a great post. However, they're like, oh, that's cool. She works too, right? She has a dog, but she also works. And so it slows the eye down. And now if she's making 7 of those posts a week about these different things, charity work, kids, pets, family, hobbies, adventures, vacations, date nights, eating out. Like honestly, like I used to be like, I'm a man, I am not posting a picture of my meal at wherever I'm at. I'm like, I ain't doing that. However, what I found is when I became human and posted what I was doing, I stopped becoming a sales robot. People interacted a lot more with me. So does that kind of make sense to you guys? Great question. Great question. So she just asked, who gets these 7 times a week? Do you post it into your junk feed for everybody to see? Or do you post it to your list? I'd say it depends on the person. Me, I have no kids. Obviously, I travel 140 days a year. So with that being said, there's no privacy in my life that I care to keep private. Right? So everything I post is in my junk feed. However, let's say you go on vacation. You're in Mexico and you're posting that you're gone for 2 weeks. Are you gonna post that in your jump feed to 4,000 people that you're friends with in Conroe? You should, right? And so it's really, the more I can post in my jump feed, I do, so that way everybody sees it, all 4,000. However, the privacy thing, so you choose what's private to you and share with who you want. However, I do still try to put some stuff in the jump feed so that way the entire list sees who I am.
So you're posting to all these different lists.
Yep.
And then these people from different lists are going to your page and looking through your stuff.
Yep.
They're only gonna see
Great question.
what are they
So,
gonna see?
so if you guys went to my Facebook page right now, you guys would see maybe like 4 posts in the last 5 days. Okay? How many posts do you think I've actually made? 30. So like if you were on one of my lists and you were on 3 of my lists, and she went to my personal page, how many posts would you see? She may see 5 or whatever. If she may see 20, right? So
Because she's in more lists.
she's in more lists. So your
You
page,
can totally control it.
yeah, you can totally control it. Absolutely. And then obviously we say no politics, do what you want. I don't
Unless you
ever.
have a politics group.
Unless you have politics group. Do as you wish, however we say no.
That's it.
Yep. Just a random question, not a debate, but what is your guys' demographic out here, roughly? In general, for like the county? You get mostly red. Okay, cool. Just curious. Subconscious marketing. Subconscious marketing is now what we do 4 times per week. So you're going to see that we post around 13 times a week per person. Seems like a lot, however, this is the success we've found that works. 4 times per week is subconscious marketing. So subconscious marketing may be me taking a picture of this room right now and going, hey, I'm out teaching a class today. Did I tell anybody that I'm a real estate agent and I really want them to buy or sell a home through me? No. I subconsciously told them that I'm working at a real estate agency, right? Or hey, if you guys go on my Facebook page, you'll see yesterday I took a picture of my suitcase. It's true story. I'm not old enough to rent a car. So I Uber everywhere. If anybody wants to see my Uber bill, you'd be shocked.
But you can write it up.
So, I think yesterday that shocked the class, and I always forget that. Yeah. So, long story short, I took a picture of my suitcase because my suitcase has got to be like Uber friendly, right? And I'm around. I don't get home for another 60 days, so I'm in a carry-on suitcase living on the road. And I took a picture of that, and it was a really good reaction on Facebook of me taking a picture of my carry-on suitcase, and I have my cowboy boots strapped to the suitcase. And I'm like, well, this is the way I'm living for the next 60 days, and it's super awesome. And what's funny is I got really good genuine reaction. I had people messaging me going, what are you doing, right? I subconsciously told them that I was working, right? Or, hey, this is a really great view from this home out on a showing. Are we hard selling anything to them? However, when your husband's friends get off work and they see that you made a funny post about work that was subconscious, and then you were on a showing, and then they look at your dog post, and they know you're a human and that you're on showings, right? Now you become a real estate agent. Now that one time that your husband talks about you being a real estate agent, they're like, oh yeah, I know. She's done like 10 deals already, right? So, subconscious. And the reason I say this over here on the right, those are all logos, right? We can all see that, and each logo is only showing you about 10% of the logo. It's just our subconscious knows what they are without even having to think about it that much. So some of the ones we do most often is showing photos pre-client meetings. If I'm at a restaurant or Starbucks or whatever you're at, take a picture of it. KW events, like if you're on a reunion or this, we'll take a picture and go, hey, really great group of people I got to meet today. I'm not going, hey, come buy a home for me tomorrow, please. It's a lot less salesy. Sharing market stats, the occasional things we share about the market. Facebook Lives about business or personal life, and obviously closing photos. And then we still believe that, what does Diana Kokoska say? You don't ask, you won't get, right? And so we say that we do have 2 posts a week that are pretty hard sells, but they're really not at the same time. So one is the buyer need script, which we'll show you here in just a minute. Obviously asking for referrals. I think a lot of people forget the power of, hey, I just want to remind everybody, guys, I'm in the real estate industry. If you ever know of anybody looking to buy or sell a home, let me know, as we want to make sure that no one, goes unrepresented or loses thousands of dollars with a bad agent.
And you would put this on your feed?
Yeah, I put that on my jump feed. super easy post. Now again, you have to be careful with these, right? If you say that same verbiage every week, it might get a little annoying, right? So we changed them up, and I think you're gonna see the next script that we use changes it up. I'm just gonna skip to it real fast. So this is the buyer referral script that we post. Anybody ever worked for sale by owners before, or kind of know a little bit how people go about it?
Yeah.
For sale by owners are famous, and I'm not saying I condone this or I'm against it or for it. A lot of for sale by owners, when they call it for sale by owner, they call them and say, I have a buyer. Do they necessarily have a buyer? No, not necessarily. So the same strategy goes here, however, it's with real buyers. Don't make this stuff up or you're gonna get caught in a lie. It's not good. So we post this on our Facebook page to our jump feed. It says, need your help. We have the following buyers looking for homes with low inventory, or if you don't have a low inventory market, with something else, with a buyer not finding what they need. We have seen everything on the market so far. We are looking for someone who might be thinking of selling or knows someone who might be selling in the near future. Please send me a message if you know of someone. And then we put our family's names on here with what they're looking for. Because what happens with this,
It makes it real.
it makes it real, because these are real people. Now let me ask you this, is it fair when you're first getting into the business, you may not have a buyer today? I've been in business 3 years and I don't have an active buyer today, right? Or I may have buyers that are at such low price points or whatever, it's just hard to find them something. So what I do personally is I have a group of 5 people. So like, let's say, do you need to be a buyer today? If you had the right property, they could buy today. It's tough, right? So let's say these 6 people here have a few buyers. I may have a group of 6 people that I go to and I go, hey, if I can find a listing for your buyer, would you take a look at it with them? You go, yeah, absolutely. She's like, absolutely, I go take a look at it. So I'm like, hey, do you mind if I share my Facebook page that, us at KW Conroe have a buyer looking for, $100,000 in XYZ city? Most of the time with this, within the mindset of abundance, she's gonna go, absolutely. So what I can do is I can make my list, have 8 people, and I go, hey, need your help. KW Conroe has these people looking, because I got her permission. Because now what it allows me to do is it allows me to touch my database of 2,000 to 3,000 people. And what happens when that person reaches out and goes, hey, the Gonzalez family, I think I have that. I'm like, cool, well, my friend, that's my colleague, has the buyer, but I'd be more than happy to mediate this deal and get them connected. I get the listing, she gets the buyer. We'll do 2 or 3 deals a year from this. Not a huge amount, but $18,000 sound good, Yeah, absolutely, get us to our cap. And so this is a great way to do that, but again, it's with consistency. If you do this once a year, what happens is over time, people start to look at this. And they're almost like subconsciously waiting for their home to pop up. They may not be looking to sell, but subconsciously they're starting to pay attention now. And so the other thing that we talk about is, Gary Keller used to say this, especially in bold, is perception is reality. And so they say if you want to be a 20-unit producer, what do you have to look like? 40. The perception's got to be you do 40. It may not be the reality, but it's got to be 20. And I'm not saying lie, right? We're all ethical people here at KW. Don't say you do 40 just so you do 20. The perception is, if I have 20 people on my list here, because Conroe is an abundant place, what does it look like to the general public that I have? 20 buyers, even though I explicitly said, don't say these are my buyers, say that this is KW Conroe, KW Conroe real estate agent family has the following needs. Does anybody have it? And if you tell me 2 of your needs, you tell me 2 of your needs, it's a benefit, it goes both ways. I got some agents that are like, nah, I don't put my people on there. I'm like, cool. I got 178 other agents I can ask, and I'm sure they got some buyers that they'd love to try to connect them to. So this is a great script we use. And then I usually post a photo of something funny. Just because, does this post look very inviting?
No.
Not really. So we'll post stuff like in our area, since our price has doubled from 225 to 500, we always post like little shacks. Like a little funny barn, like a little barn stall, and go 400,000. Right? Because we all make fun of how expensive our market's gotten. And so just something like that, right? Or whether it's a hayfield, or like I saw someone the other day in Houston, they live on a farm, and they posted a picture of their farm and said, we're looking for one of these for $100,000. Right? It caught everybody's attention, but then the meat of the content was real. And then obviously, being specific, so Colorado Springs, Longmont, if you're too general, we're looking for a 4-bedroom.
Yeah.
2 million or 100,000, right? It doesn't ignite anybody to go, oh, I have one of those. Break time, if you guys are good with that. Cool. We'll take about a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back after that.
place.
She said we are gonna give her a face gift.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'll watch it, I wanna watch it like 3 or 4 times. Take some real good place out of it. You know, as you start using it, then you realize, you start remembering things.
Hey, you.
Yeah, that-
So have you learned anything?
So I talked to that fellow.
Am I still gonna be on your feet?
Had a bad fall. And hurt her
No, I'm taking you off. I don't like friends.
I talked to her and I called her back later and she did. She said she'd gone to see her daughter.
I don't like it.
She went to UTMB yesterday or something.
Yeah, in Galveston.
Yes, in Galveston. So she said that they're not sure, they're hoping it's just badly bruised, but it's still pretty inflamed and swollen. They want her to start give her a and wait a week to see kind of more.
Yeah, she got right to it and spend the time.
She said her little dog got spooked or something got tangled up and she fell. She said I think she said she hit the pig.
She did, concrete.
So, yeah. It was Sky got all excited and somehow she got all tangled up and it landed on the ground.
Did anybody see her?
Yeah, we're gonna talk
I
about
think it was
boots,
just right outside
the famous
her
boots for sure.
So.
Absolutely.
I felt
And I'm popped up like one of those and she made things, you know. What did you think I learned? Phyllis. Oh, I want to show you something.
I fell face first one time on my patio and busted out my teeth, so.
I just about did that when I fell on my shoulder.
So how are you feeling?
Good, good. I'm doing really good. I know you've got some grandbabies.
They're there. They were 7-3 and 6-14. Good girl. We are so much alike. I was in there
Okay.
Like jacket and
Hey, Melinda, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. So, I have to be on there or not? Did you get anything from Christina? I haven't heard anything from
But they said to do this, like, I do need anything. Yeah, we didn't do any of it. And then we just got like hot chocolate. But they're there. But they don't check your bag or anything either, so. Okay. You can bring your water.
Somebody from
Sounds like fun.
It was cold though. And then make sure she has like snow, like rain. So what's no, it's like no matter on the plate. Yeah. Hey, what is up, girl? Oh my goodness, I'm good.
She just keeps having babies.
I know that. And what are we in there?
Yeah.
What are we at?
What are we at here?
My oldest one plays. If it wasn't for Facebook, I wouldn't know anything about either one of you two anymore.
I know.
See?
That's like when you said that, and like, yeah, that's why I have Facebook.
don't know, I don't even know anybody, you know, I just follow their little life.
How old is the baby now?
The baby is 5 months. The twins just turned 3. No, remember when we were going like to class? We were in school.
Yes, that's when you were in
Yeah, when did you go ice skating? I know it was her birthday, but where'd you go?
We went, well, the Woodlands is at the pavilion.
Oh, I didn't know they
That
had
was
one.
super fun. It was good. Yeah, do that.
Well, we went to the Galleria a couple months ago. We were going ice skating. And my husband got a blister that lasted for like 3 weeks. I was like, my foot was physically sore from the shoes for like a week, like a bruise.
What did you guys do?
Nothing. I put them on. I tried to go around. It was the most hilarious looking thing. I'm like, because I've never ice skated.
Yeah, it's like I did put ice skates on when I was like in 5th grade. So like I was in 5th grade when I was ice skating, and then I'm like, so I didn't really comprehend all that, and then I get out there with like the 3 olders, and I'm like, oh crap, like I gotta keep all these guys alive. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. But they get little. I used to when I was really little, but
I needed one of those. I would have loved it. I would have definitely used one if they had had one that I had. At the Galleria, they were
yeah, they have it at $5, but I mean, they're alive. Yeah,
I would definitely.
well, and there's no way I could have like kept both of them up, and then I was worse than them. Like she was like a giraffe, falling all over the place.
That's what I look like.
And then this poor like rest lady, she didn't have herself, so like the rest.
Celeste suggested that not painted, it's painted and floated, but
So was Elsa just there by coincidence?
That was really cute. Like Elsa was there for a birthday party. Someone hired her.
Oh, awesome.
but a paint for an assessment.
Like came and found her though. Like,
So they've already started on it, and they're gonna work on it while still showing though. When it comes down to weekend, they're gonna do that. Painting right now, they're forcing it away from the wall. They're gonna say, go try for 2 days and don't get it. He said he was a professional painter. Knocked it out like that. Texture and everything. But anyway, so then after they've done that, we're
Yeah, that was like a really cool thing you did for our birthday. That's like
which
that
may have been
scaffolding.
it's still on the market. It's getting to that time right now.
Look at you, how they're acting.
I was in there with like my marker, like writing all these riddles. Like, okay, I'm done, let's go. And then I'll take over.
So maybe I'll touch base with you.
Look at nice.
And see what's there.
Ooh, we enjoy it.
Sometimes I feel like I'm like, people are probably like, around the world, like, did you do anything enough? Because I do. I do a lot of stuff I don't like to do, but like, stuff I just have at social media, I've seen like, my mom and my dad and my grandma and my aunt. I know, I'm excited, because I don't have, but I still don't want to either. So she's afraid.
She's gonna get it on the excellence.
I'm gonna get a message from her. Can I get back on the friends list? Like,
I'm not seeing anything.
I didn't see anything. Did you cut me out? What are y'all doing? Good, I got a cookie.
I know, it's in our office. We've been guarded for you. Yeah, I'll come see you later. I am. Yeah, yeah.
How's everything going for you? Yeah, a little bit. I brought you.
I thought I
did too. Like, just for the fun. Like, okay, we're just try to be personal. I know, has he been selling much?
So now I'm
Well, he sold more than me last year. So, does he have his baby? I'm like, I'm hoping
it's got water and a dry
I
river
can kind of
turnaround.
get.
It's got a good septic system, three building sites. I think they're
I
building,
mean,
they could build a house or a barn.
I didn't say he's working on another job. Yeah.
Or even a
Technical type jobs do not make
It's stuff this one building is just one. And take the roof and
Yeah.
put it over. He does that.
Well, it is good.
So lowest price,
Like, the face of
67
anything. So,
And my price
At least if
is
he's over
$75.
here,
Going
like,
down to
Unless it's a
$12.
referral, he's not doing it.
Quick
He's
sale.
like, just go meet with them, just go. I'm like, okay.
It's gonna cost you. He gets rid of
That's,
the
I like it.
wrapped up in a can.
He doesn't really like it.
So I'm gonna try to let you We're in business. Not bad.
The other day, I was looking at the concert we actually buying, and I was like in Brenda, and he was like, okay, I got no shows, house, and I was like, oh, no. You sit here with me for a little bit. What do you think? I'm going to go to the house and so I went to
You're my star student with the list builder.
like just looking at everything, like I'm gonna go there, I got every idea, I'm like, one thing, let's go, and then like I'm trying to like look at stuff, and I'm like playing with the lotion, and it was so great. I was really right? Just to go back. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's that.
I'll give it the spark.
Yeah, honestly, I feel How are you? Good. That's good. Yeah,
I do this myself.
have you ever been to the partnership?
And I like the word that for some reason, golden nugget.
I'm not like that.
major engaged activity. I don't have to do well. Usually I see those I actually play a lot of blackjack.
I know, I was you.
Something like that, you can look up where maybe something else that they just have to get and all of a sudden, it's a 10-year union and good job.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I never knew.
I'm kind of start getting back in here now. Figure out how to turn this thing back on. Cool. You guys feeling good? Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we're not even in the fun stuff yet.
Everything, I never done everything I can.
Alright, let's warm up here.
Very warm.
So what's your guys' market doing back here now? You guys shifting at all by chance, or what are you guys feeling?
I think it's more of a buyer's.
More of a buyer's market now? How have you guys had a hot seller's market recently in the last few years, or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Still recovering from Harvey.
That hit you guys pretty hard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Alright, cool. Alright, you want to flip the lights off for me for a second? Just get some of these little smaller words. Cool. So the next thing, so we're just wrapping up on the personal page now. We're going to fly through this just so we can make sure. We might have a little bit of eating lunch. We'll still have time. So engaging posts. So one of the key things we like to do is to be making posts that encourage engagement. Who has a past client that they haven't called, even though they may have closed them a few years ago, and you feel awful about it? Me, definitely me, right? Because I'm like, sorry, I made a $6,000 check off to you and I never talked to you again. Even though we were really good friends the entire transaction, nothing went wrong. It was my fear of lead generation that didn't call them back, right? Because they're not calling us back. They go, hey, I wanted to let you know I still love this home 2 years later, right? It doesn't work. So we find that this is a great way to make sure that those things never happen, and if they do happen, we have an unawkward way to recall them back. And so, for example, I want to give you guys an example of this real fast. I always throw a few on my Facebook page the day before. Oh yeah, you guys can see my because even better, my buddy's getting married, so I had to drive to Sugar Land to get a tuxedo. And so now I'm walking luggage. So, for example, I'm going to go through a post that I put on here a day or two ago, was this one. If all movies were banned for life except for one of your choice, what would it be? what does that make people do?
Have a
Think.
conversation back and forth.
Conversations, comments, right? What's funny is when you see these posts, I don't get very many likes at all.
You get more comments.
I get almost all comments because what's the point of the question?
Right.
It's comments. And so now what I can do is,
Like their
let me just give you an example. So like Lisa, she said this question is just gold. After much debate with myself and other people, you can see that people are now commenting to each other. They're having full-on conversations within my post. When I post this and if I post this and leave for a week, what is happening on my own behalf?
It's still going on.
If you've been a part of a post where you comment something and you're like, oh my
People
Lord,
are seeing your name repetitively.
I'm in a comment war and I'm getting notified every 5 minutes of this post. I don't care.
And then remove the post.
The reality is though we want that. We want to instigate that because now what happens is you comment on it and you're like, man, I'm tired of all these movie post comments. But whose name is it saying that post is of? It's mine. It's a free way to keep my name in front of people over and over again. I'll look for example. Let's take this post right. Let's take a post right.
It's not like a group text, huh?
So see, look, let's take for example this one. This is with me at Christmas Market Center down at in Katy. I got more likes, right? You can see the ratio difference. I got 42 likes and comments, but I only got 42 likes, reactions, 11 comments.
What is different?
Completely different, right? Now, is that still a good post to have? Absolutely, but it doesn't last as long. No, I had people this morning still commenting on my movie post. And so going back to our presentation here, you kind of understand that the questions is what engage people. It slows the eye down, it keeps people engaged with you. Some of the best ones we do are movies, vacation spots, hobbies, places to visit, restaurant questions. So if you commented on my post and said, I think it's this movie, Star Wars, would it be awkward if I messaged you back and I said, hey, thanks for the recommendation? You'd be like, oh, you're very welcome.
Right.
And what happens in reality is, a lot of people you know, but don't know that well, opens conversation. You'd be surprised how many people I send this to, and they're like, oh, hey, how's the market? I'm like, wait, how's the market? I just thanked you for your movie suggestion. Is it good to have people asking us about the market, and they instigated it, and without us doing anything, right? They opened their own door. We just started the conversation. I like to say be different. Like honestly, like I use Star Wars as an example. Is some of the most odd and unique questions bring the best comments. One of my best posts of the year was, what is your favorite lightsaber color from Star Wars? There was some grown men and women going all out fighting on my Facebook post. Because remember, when I got 4,000 friends, there's going to be some opinions among those 4,000.
Right.
Right? So I had a post that had a few hundred comments on it.
Wow.
Now, what I have is for example, I had a past client comment I hadn't talked to in a year and a half. That's an unawkward way to now reconnect with them, right? Or call them and go, hey, I really appreciate your comment, it was funny, right? Or whatever you said, it's totally not business, you reconnected without having that awkward conversation. So, I'm not saying you should just forget your client, but if you do, that's how we can go about fixing it. So obviously, like how old do you have to be before it can be said you died of old age is a great question I've used. If you could travel to any country for free, where would you go and why? Great questions.
Oh boy.
What's the football team of choice down here?
Cowboys.
Hey, shut up!
I asked that question especially here because we got the same yesterday. Yesterday we only had one Cowboys fan in the back, so it was kind of interesting.
That's where we put them.
So to guess the score game, so for like you guys, it's probably the Texans. We always like to throw on our comment page like, hey, guess the score of the game. Closest gets a $5 gift card. There's two things behind this. What else do we get when someone wins? We have to send them a gift card. Another touch, another address. So you do this for $250 a year, once a week or whatever it is. Not saying you do it once a week. How many addresses do you now have in your database? You have another 50 addresses roughly, and if you did more or less, things like that. So it's really easy, and at the same time, you're maximizing the value by getting people to comment on your post. Like if I threw $5 right here, if it was for free, you may not tackle each other, but someone's going to try to get it, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. When someone's scrolling through your page and they're like, oh, someone's going to give me $5 for a 2-second guess if I win? It's kind of cool, right? And we also do caption this contest. These are high interaction. So like this picture down here, a car through a roof, I say the best comment wins with the most amount of likes. And so if we get 30 or 40 comments, now what does everybody else do? They go like everybody else's comments.
Right.
It just keeps people on my post for long, right? Yeah.
But this is still on your
Personal page, yeah.
On your main
You
feed.
don't really need a business page.
Not too much, we're gonna talk about why you need them.
Okay.
Whoa, that got dark. You can flip the lights back on for me, Chris, please. Thank you.
And are you just posting these at any time of the day? I think you said at night.
Yeah, honestly, these can be more any time of the day, the questions. Like that one I did at like 9 a.m. and it still took off pretty well. If I would have done it at 6 p.m., it would have been more effective for sure.
And it's on your main feed.
Yep, main feed, personal page. Yeah. So here are the scripts we use. It's pretty straightforward. Hey, I just want to say thank you for the comment. I'm going to definitely check out whatever you talked about. Say DVD, Mexico, the movie, you know, whatever it is, and hope the family is doing well. We throw some personalized touch in there, or whatever. Hey, hope you're doing well there. Whatever. Great question. Bold scripted messenger. This is something we use if you've ever been through Bold. Anybody ever heard the referral game script?
Yep.
We just copy it and put it into messenger form. Again, you guys will get this PowerPoint. Basically, it just says, we send this to every person in our Facebook feed once a year. So if I have 4,000 people on my Facebook, divided by 365, that's how many I send out per day. So 7 to 8 of these a day. It says, hey, I hope you and the family are doing well. I saw that Johnny hit his first home run the other day, and that is awesome. You're connecting to their Facebook feed, you know, not just being business. Congratulations. I am sure you saw my Facebook post. I'm in a competition with my coworkers to see who can get the most real estate referrals in the next 2 weeks. Can I count on you to let me know if you come across anyone at work, church, or out and about that needs to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Some respond, some don't. The majority of them go, what? I don't. But that's all right, because that's our one hard sale on them a year. Right, you can either call them and do this, or you can message them and do this. Obviously, calling's still preferred. However, Mike, who's my team lead and CEO, he's never picked up the phone a day in his life. Never done a for sale by owner, never done an expired, never called an internet lead. I'm not saying that that's the method to take. I'm just saying that you can still be uber successful without that, right? And I don't even want to say without that, because our team would be much bigger than it is if we actually did those things. And I regret doing that. I think there's some anomalies out there that just get away with it, kind of being lucky. However, I do think that you don't have to do it all, right? You don't have to door knock out the for sale by owner expires. I think pieces of those are important. You have to have some of those aspects. You can't leave them out. However, just an example of how you can get away with something.
When you script and role play around expireds and for sale by owners and circle and open houses and stuff, when you call a Facebook lead, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
When you have to call them 9 times to, it's no big deal. You're used to it. You know?
Super easy. All right, business pages. You guys ready? You guys are gonna love my answer on this. Not everybody will agree on it, but I'm gonna walk you through my madness of what the industry leaders are saying about this. Most of us that use Facebook at a really high level all agree. It's just now convincing everybody else kind of the strategies. So business pages. Its number one purpose is to serve as a piece of credibility for you. I'm sure a lot of you, when you go on listing appointments, you may be saying that you're going to advertise their home on social media, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, as we should. However, if they go on your page and you haven't posted in 2 years, or you have 50 likes, shouldn't you be probably saying that? No, because they're going to be like, I have a bigger Facebook page as a consumer than you do as an agent, so it's for credibility purposes. Do you think it matters if you have 10,000 likes or 400?
Oh, yes.
I'm going to say absolutely not. So, I'm going to say one looks a little bigger, but I'm going to say the actual behind the scenes is not going to matter at all. So we'll go through that. So the basic level, the top 3 things we post are reviews, we're consistent about our postings, and listings. For those that have read the MREA book, leads, listings, leverage, right? Does it say anything about blog posts about fluffing my pillow the right way, put on the bed to sell the home? It doesn't, right? Why is Zillow so good at what they do? We all agree Zillow is really good at what they do, whether we like them or not from our perspective. They're good at what they do. Do you ever see Zillow putting staging tip Facebook ads out?
No.
What do they put ads out for?
Houses.
Houses, right? Because the consumer wants houses. And I'm not saying anything bad about blogging, I'm not saying anything bad about that. However, would you say it's harder to start a blog now compared to someone starting a blog 20 years ago?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
SEO's changed, things have changed, people kind of garnered the game. If you're just now getting started and you have a blog, or you have a blog from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you're in a much more success rate on the blog type stuff. Has anybody ever known those companies that will consistently post for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't bad, however, they're not, I'm about to show you why they don't work as well anymore. So gaining likes, one thing I do want to say, if you're starting a business page or you're looking to gain more likes, when you go to your business page on Facebook.
Now, this is a page of an extension of your
Correct, yeah, this is a business page. So like for us, this is our business page that we run everything off of. So when I go down here, on the right side of my screen, everybody's probably always seen invite friends to like the page, right?
Yes.
Remember how you used to have to click invite?
Yes.
They changed that 2 days ago. It's now when you click it and you hit invite friends, it's going to show that I have 2,500 friends I've never invited. So what I can do now is I can hit select all, and I can go down here to the bottom, and I can send invites to 2,300 people at one time.
Wow.
So you no longer have to click them all.
So if they've already been invited and they haven't liked it,
Then they're not gonna
Then
invite.
they're not going to get invited.
do it again.
So you get one shot at gaining likes on your Facebook page. You can't ever invite them again. Facebook will sometimes open random windows where they'll let you re-invite, but if you miss it, you don't get to re-invite. And so, as of right now, if I re-invite all 2,300, I'm probably not going to be able to invite them all ever again. Do you think it's a very good time of day to do that right now?
No.
No.
Not at all. Because they're going to get, because it's going to come up as a small notification, and it's going to get buried, and I doubt someone likes me enough to go, I'm going to look 20 posts down, notifications, oh, that's the one I'm going to click on and do what it says to do. Absolutely not. We need to catch them where the notification comes up when there's no one else doing anything.
In the evening.
I'll tell you, for me personally, I hold mine for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl halftime. I hold, it takes 10 seconds, because what do we know people are doing usually?
They're on Facebook.
They're on Facebook, they're in halftime, doing something, messing around. It doesn't have to be a Super Bowl, but you know, a big event like that, you know, you can really limit your damage. Also, if you wanted to do this slowly over time, now they have a new feature where you can actually send it all to them, and you can send a message with each of your invites. Okay? But do you think you should do it 2,300 at a time?
No.
It doesn't even let you, to be honest with you. You can send up to 50 invites at a time for this page through Messenger. So there's two methods. If you really want to do it grueling and you care about likes, you can send 50 at a time and message people like, hey, I just wanted to say thank you, I'd love for your support, or whatever you want to say. However, I haven't found, if you agree with my method I'm about to teach that likes don't matter, then hitting send invite to 2,300 is totally fine. So. Any questions about that? Also, don't forget your spouses, other people, if they have Facebook accounts. Like, honestly, this is not on my page, but I can invite my friends to this. And then my agents can go on here and invite their friends to this. So know that you get on your husband's account and he has 400 friends, you can go click invite friends and you can invite all his friends to like the page. So a good way, easy way to garner likes. Cool. Alright, so keep moving on. The evolution of Facebook. So is it fair to say, does anybody remember MySpace? I know that I wasn't around then, but
That was
My dog.
BJ, right?
was that?
Before Justin?
Yeah, before Justin, yep. However, did MySpace start free, and then it started having paid features throughout time, right? Facebook started free, and it's still free, but does it have paid features now?
Yes.
Yep, so it used to be that if I had 1,000 likes on my business page, and I made a post on my business page, not personal page, I had 1,000 likes and I made a post on my business page, it had the ability to reach 1,000 people, possibly, right? I reached 700, 800, whatever. Well, Facebook said, well, this is really dumb, how do we make more money? And they said they made this thing called the algorithm. It's always been there, but they really publicized this algorithm thing. And what they do now is if I have 1,000 likes, they mainly show it to 10 people. And their excuse is, only those 10 people want to see it. And I call BS and go, well, 1,000 people liked my page, why would only 10 people want to see my post? Because they created a gap, right? And how do we fill the gap?
Pay for it.
You pay for the boosted post. So why would I want to keep trying to garner a ton of likes when the ratio is this? If I get 3,000 likes and I get 30 people to see it, is that a great use of my time to get likes?
That's why I like
No.
it.
That's why we focus on personal. Likes matter from the sense of People will look at your business page if they're researching you and make sure you're active on social media and doing things. The average agent only has about 300 likes on their business page, which is good. Because I think as long as you're average or above, you're going to do just fine in your listing presentations or anything that may come up in that sense. Obviously over time, especially if you what's the average agent have on their friends list? 355. So that's why their average likes is only there. So if we as a group start to get to 800, 900, 1200, 1500, 2000, because we know these new strategies, can you see how your likes would get up into the 700, 800 range? We haven't really ever spent money for our likes and we're at 2200. But it's because we keep growing our friends list and keep inviting them and keep growing it. So that's where the boosted post came into play. Thus why, do you think it's worth paying someone to post about the staging tips on your page if 10 people are seeing it? It used to maybe be really great when 1,000 people saw it. However, it's not as much anymore. Thus, the personal page is why we focus so heavily on that. So that's really all I have on the business page for now. We're going to talk more about the business page in a second. Because remember, you got to have a business page to run ads, right? You can't run ads from your personal page.
Do you like the, I mean, do you use the boost posting, you know, for ads and stuff?
Yeah, that's what we're about to talk about right now.
Okay.
Yep, great question. So before we cover that, the only other thing I have is ads cost money, right? I'm going to show you how to do ads for free as well. There's ways to do that. Also, I want to show you that, is it fair to say that some people get cheaper leads on ads than other people?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I like to say is, there's a question first. Is anybody a part of like those national Facebook groups for real estate agents?
Yeah.
A few of you guys? What I'm talking about is there's a few groups with like 80,000 people you can join, and they all post about Facebook. And they post that like, hey, on Facebook I got $1.50 a lead. But what they fail to tell you is they're in Arkansas, and there's as many agents in Arkansas as there is in your like county, right? And so there's less agents to people population, their price points are lower. And so we always say don't compare your insides with the people's outside, because it can be deceiving. My point with this is if I said, if you give me $200, I'll give you a listing that I guarantee will sell, would you do it? Of course. You know, you could probably play that mind game all the way to a 25% referral and convince yourself that you would do it, right? Well, that's where I get to $1,000. It's probably about 25% of your average deal out here. And so my point is, if you're doing Facebook lead ads or any type of Facebook ad, don't care if it's 200 or 1,000 to get that closed transaction. I mean, of course, is profit better if you're only 200 total? Absolutely. However, don't get so caught in the weeds that it cost me 800 before I got my first deal compared to it cost him 100 to get his first deal. Because it garners over time. Facebook likes you better over time. The algorithms, it's very complicated. However, I think too many people quit because they're like, Justin got 2 deals at $200 and I'm still at 500 and haven't done a deal yet. The reality is you hit a wall and you're just not breaking through it yet, right? Because it could go all the way up. So we'll talk more about average costs and things like that later. Facebook ads, kind of your question. The boosted post versus the promoted post versus the Facebook ads manager. Anybody ever, who's run a boosted post before?
I've tried.
Okay. Who's run any type of ad in the back-end manager? Okay, so a few of you guys. So cool, this is gonna be, then you guys are really going to enjoy this boosted post section because it's super, super easy to do. So we're gonna get into this.
What's the difference?
That's what we're gonna get through in a second. So, you got a marker by chance?
Does she have one in there?
She's got a highlighter. Might be kind of hard to see. Oh, that'd be perfect. Thank you. You guys are gonna get to see my artistic abilities today. Cool. Can everybody see that? Joe, a website, and a CRM, right? So Joe, right now, he's on Facebook. He's enjoying Facebook. So we're talking about the sales funnel. I'm sorry, guys, it's kind of all over the place. We're talking about the sales funnel. So the first step in the sales funnel of getting leads into your system is traffic from Facebook, right? So we're talking about Facebook today, right? So how do I get people like Joe that are looking on Facebook, that are reading things, to get to my website? Would everybody agree that they have to get to your website in order for you to convert a lead?
Right.
Absolutely. And so how do I, is it fair to say that we're going to put something on Facebook that's going to be in front of his face in order to make him click to our website? is it fair to say that a lot of us are lost on what should we be putting on Facebook?
Yeah.
Right? Is it a picture? Is it a video? Is it a clickable link? What is that? I'm going to help you solve that. But I want you to understand the sales process first. So let's say we have this mastered. You know exactly what to put on Facebook. Joe would click on it every single time, and we get him to our website. When he gets to our website, what does our website have to have in order for us to get his information?
Can I ask a question before going further?
Absolutely.
A lot of people tell us, you don't even need a website anymore. You don't need, so there's a lot, and I'm one of them, I don't have my own website.
Absolutely, I agree.
So if you don't have a website, can we still do all of this?
Great question. Yes and no. What I'm about to show you, no.
Okay.
Can we
But
tell?
you can get around that? and do
I'll show you the
something different.
workaround at lunch.
Okay,
Absolutely.
perfect.
So I agree that you don't need really branding websites anymore. Like the old websites where you'd go on, you'd read their home
And
buyer
it'd be
guides, their
thousands of
seller guides.
dollars and-
You know, those aren't awful. We have one ourselves, but it's not our primary website. Do you use Curator back there? Cool. So you're gonna understand a lot of this then.
Can I ask you,
Yeah.
do y'all have Placer here for free?
Yeah, it's part of our.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
We have one, yes, when you.
Perfect. So we're gonna talk about that then. So basically, my job is to get the track to teach you this piece. KW has this piece down for you. They have the website and the CRM. But my job is to teach you the ads to get people there. The website has to have capture turned on. It has to have capture turned on. Does anybody know what that means? Everybody, if you're on a computer, if you're not, I'm gonna do it on my screen. If you're on the computer, go to MikeNelsonTeam.com. MIKE NelsonTeam.com. Search for some homes, click a few homes, then you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say you have to sign up,
Yeah.
right?
Do exactly. So team.com. So if you're not doing it, you're going to follow along. You guys can don't register when it starts to ask you to register. Or else all of our phones would be ringing. I promise. Or they should be. If they're not, we'd have a problem. So let's say I'm just clicking around, looking at Denver.
Yeah.
Look what pops up.
So you can continue through Facebook.
I can continue through Facebook, so I can sign up somehow. So our websites have to have sign up on. Or else, what happens? They get the information they want, they bounce off your page. Let me ask you this. If you were a consumer and you got put onto this page right here because you thought you were looking for homes, would you sign up?
Probably not.
Not always. You're the 98% of the population. However, Facebook lead generation is not done with the 98% of the population. It's done with the 2% that do register. Does that make sense? So we have to remove our limiting mindset that I would never fill that out and go, I have 12,000 leads in my system that would tell me differently that other people fill it out, right? So I think if we can remove that mindset and just get out of it, then you're gonna know that people register. Playster, which we were just talking about, is the website given by KW for free. I'm going to show you guys some KW Command stuff here in just a bit. Super cool stuff. Who knows what KW Command is?
Well, it's coming in. We don't have it yet.
Has anybody seen the system yet?
No.
I will show you the system because I have access to some of it, so that'll be kind of cool. I don't have access to it all. By no means am I that high up, but I do have some special stuff. A few of you guys might have it. Did anybody have access to it? Chris has, okay. We'll show you guys some of the stuff. So it's basically the CRM, it's the website, it's a lot of that stuff that's going to roll out, that's going to replace your Playster, replace your e-edges, things like that. It'll be a very smooth transition for everybody. However, so what I'm saying is if you guys have Playster right now, there's a setting in Playster called, oh man, it's under your lead generation settings, it's called restrictive access. I'll get the exact verbiage for you.
I'm looking at it.
Okay, but it's very apparent what it is. Under lead generation, it's called restrictive access. Under your lead capture, I think it's called aggressive actually. I think it's called aggressive.
And it's free.
It's free. Yeah, Playster. So if you guys don't have your Playster site set up yet, you guys have a tech coordinator here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Get with your tech coordinator. He can help you set up your Playster site. So we have, let's say you have your website set up, you have your Playster site set up, and the lead capture's on. So that way, if someone goes to your Playster site, they can search for homes and have this pop-up come up. Now, what happens when someone fills that out? I believe, right? I believe they gave me their information. I believe that would then go into our CRM. Currently, where does Playster's leads go?
E-edge.
E-edge. Or your email, or however you guys. Honestly, if you guys do it with Playster because it's free, and then you get it in e-edge, who all uses the Edge? Who uses something else? Totally fine. It's KW's about half and half. You can take the leads out of anywhere and put them into any CRM you want. So, does everybody kind of get the flow? I'm going to teach you how to make an ad that appears on Joe's phone. Joe's going to click it, get landed on a website, right? It's going to ask for his information. 98% of people will bounce off the page, but the 2% of Joes that won't will give us their information. It's in a CRM. Now we just do what real estate agents do, right? We call people, right? What do you have to call for sale by owners and expireds?
Phone number?
Phone number and information. That's all we're doing. Does a for sale by owner and an expired raise their hand and say, I need some real estate help? Maybe not real estate help. Does a for sale by owner and expired raise their hand to the general public that they're looking to sell or buy real estate?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the same thing this is. It's not necessarily saying that I want help today. It's saying to me as a consumer and a real estate agent that that person has interest, right? No different than an expired. They may not have interest today, but they know they have interest at some time. And so we're going to go through right now how to build this ad. When everybody gets the funnel, right? Traffic from Facebook, it creates the lead on the website once they land there. We then, obviously, it's our job through a CRM tracking system to get them to meet with us. And then we close transactions out of it. Any questions on that piece?
It is called aggressive.
Is it called aggressive?
Yeah, when you log into KW, you just click on resources and
So, one thing I always recommend to your leadership after I teach this class is a Playster class. So, I'll tell Anna that I think a Playster class would be a great class to have, even if it's just your tech coordinator going, I'm going to be here at this time to teach a Playster and how to set it up. Because, you know, why go spend money on another CRM when you have stuff that KW gives you for free? Boost and post. Has anybody heard don't boost post? Or boost a post? Or what do I do? We kind of like to say that, we already established this earlier when you answered the question, is 50% of people will say do it this way, 50% of people will say do it this way. Are both right?
Probably.
50%.
Probably. One maybe, yeah.
I boosted a post before, but I don't feel that I got it narrowed down far enough that it hit the right people that close to what I needed to do.
Perfect, awesome. Well, we're going to go through each of those steps for sure on the targeting. You want to flip the light for me real fast? Thank you. All right. Chris, you're going to love this because we're going to see if the answer is different from yesterday. I always get a different answer. I want to know what ad you guys think is better, the one on the left or the one on the right. And there's no wrong answer.
The one on the left?
Right.
The one on the left.
The one on the right.
You can think about it for just a second. I just want you to take it in, look at all the different details of each ad. So these are examples of boosted posts. They're both posts we would have made on our business page. They each take about 2 to 3 minutes to make, but they got some differences. So I kind of will give you another 30 seconds and just kind of look at what you see one has the other doesn't have, and then we're going to walk through each of them.
Well, that's right.
Do you put special financing in any of your ads?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially with KW Mortgage.
That's, yeah.
You guys have KW Mortgage here yet? Yeah. All right, start shouting out what you got.
The left.
You guys like left? All right, so we'll talk to both sides. If you like left, why do you like the left?
A lot of pictures,
Okay.
data from an ad.
Data. Okay.
Doesn't
But I've been told
doesn't
your
have
eyes are
the
attractive.
address, so they maybe have to contact you to
Okay. Yep.
figure out where it is.
I've been told that your eyes are attracted to the little pictures in the writing.
The emojis.
There's more popping.
More popping. Okay. Anybody like the right side better? Oh, we got some back rowers. All right. All right. What do you guys like about the right side?
Then it's not giving enough information to where, like on the right, they have to click on it to get more pictures and to get more details. Whereas on the left, I mean, they've already been given.
I like the actual picture on the right.
Yes.
I like that I can see the front of the house. I
Okay.
like the photography of the picture of that house.
Perfect. So it's more picture for you
Right,
on
the
this.
bold print, and then they have.
Yeah, they're definitely two different houses for sure. So I think you guys are all right across all points. I'm gonna say the left is more of the answer we're gonna go for, and the reason is to a lot of things. Emojis. Emojis are shown that about 15% of your budget will be reduced with emojis being used. Okay, I'm looking around the room. If you guys have a Mac, Control Command Spacebar. If you've never done that before, it's super cool. Control Command Spacebar at the same time will bring up a list of emojis for you to use in your daily conversations. If you don't have a Mac and you have a PC, Cool Emoji Keyboard, put that into a search engine. The first one that pops up will work for you just fine.
What is it called?
Cool, C-O-O-L, Emoji Keyboard. Don't download anything from these websites, please. But the websites themselves work extremely well.
Oh,
What was the Mac one?
The Mac is Control Command Spacebar at the same time, so I'm going to do it real fast for you. See how it popped up all these emojis? Control Command Spacebar pops those up, so you can see the ones I use a lot are these different ones. Yep. So I'm going to tell you. Oh yeah.
You're saying emojis is a good thing to put in all these things?
Yes.
Because I'm a man and I don't use words. It's really hard for me to click on them.
Well, you can do it here.
No, I could not agree more with you, and it comes back to the same thing. For me, it was getting over that exact thing. I had the exact same trouble, and a lot of people have it too, not even on just the man side, but the professional side. Right? It looks a little weird. Like, yeah, it looks a little weird than what it used to be. Honestly, I kind of had to get over that myself. I don't have a great answer for you, other than, do you want a 15% reduced budget or not? That's up to you, right? Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I'm the same way. Could not agree more. Because here's the thing. The one on the right side, the reason I don't like it is the address being there. Because let me ask you this. I'm going to write this down for later. What cities would you work, if I said I have a $300,000 listing, what cities would you work? Like your top 5 cities around here.
Woodlands.
Montgomery.
North Houston, maybe?
Spring. Yeah.
Springs? Okay, those are good for now. So let me ask you just I already know the answer, but if someone was looking for what cities border each other, what does the south side of Conroe border? Spring? Woodlands, okay. If someone was looking for a home in Conroe and that said, you know, sorry, if someone was looking for a home in Conroe and it said Woodland, do you think they may pass over the ad?
Yes.
If they weren't looking for it?
Yes.
Is it fair to say, though, that there has to be a line of where homes are drawn? So it could fall one street over
Right.
and be, you know, the Woodlands, and it could be Conroe. So it's fair to say that person may still buy that home even if it's not the right city name.
Yes.
Correct.
Correct. So here's what I'm going to say is, this ad, if these are both the same place, okay, this ad may get 20 clicks, this one may get 15. Well, what happens is when you have more clicks, what are you ultimately always going to get more of? Leads and conversions. These may run the same ad cost because what you did is you segmented out a part of the market just by putting the address in there. You narrowed it down, or who of us have tried to go find information that asked for a capture page and we were smart enough to get around it and go find that information anyways? They can take that and put it in Zillow and get everything they want for free. So when we do this, there is a mistake on this left one, I will admit that. Up here, it shouldn't say in the heart of Longmont. So it says just listed 3-bed ranch in the heart of Longmont. It should say in the heart of the city. That's what it should say. My assistant made a mistake on that. It shouldn't be specific. Now let me tell you this. If you're running a home con, you either need to be specific or not specific. So when we get into targeting, is it true when you make an ad, you can show where it goes? You get to pick where it goes.
Yes.
If you're only going to put your ad to Conroe and the homes in Conroe, it's totally okay to put the homes in Conroe. However, if you run your ad to the Springs, to the Woodlands, and Conroe, you don't want to put the city specific, because why would I run an ad in the Woodlands for a home in Conroe? But let me tell you the advantage of running ads to multiple cities at once. You want to flip on the light for me just a second? Someone's falling asleep. Let me give you an example. If I wanted to run an ad as Coca-Cola, and I had the chance to run an ad either during the Super Bowl or tonight, which one's going to be cheaper? Tonight. And why is that? Not as many people, not as much demand for it. It's just cheaper all around because you weren't picky about your date, right? With Facebook, let's say that I want to run an ad, not to make this sound weird, but I want it to get into your home tonight at 7 o'clock, and I want to make sure you see it tonight in your 1 2-mile radius. Any of your 2-mile neighbors, you're going to see this ad. Is that being picky?
Yes.
Is Facebook going to charge me for being that picky?
Yes.
So my ads are going to cost more to reach a smaller amount of people. So whenever I can run an ad radius and hit Conroe, the Woodlands, and the Springs together, I'm being less picky, and I'm saying, Facebook, I give you control to give me the most amount of ads with the cheapest spend. Okay, in an area. Yep.
Do you know how like some of it's like pay-per-click times when you take like in click-through ratio? So do you think it's like literally just the cost per click that changes when you go geography out, or is it other factors
It's
that
a
attribute
good
to
question.
it?
He's asking, is it just if you like if I were to take a map and put this on the United States and run an ad, it's going to be a little cheaper than it is here. But are those good leads?
No.
You don't want to get so big that they're not good leads and quality leads either. However, like he's saying, what happens is Facebook takes 3 to 4 days, and they know everything about everybody. If you always register on home ads and you live in Katy, Texas, is that going to show up here? You live in Katy?
No.
No. If you live here and my ad is in your area and you always click on home ads, do you think Facebook's going to show you this ad?
Yes.
Because they want you to register. Because they know if you register, am I happy as an advertiser?
Yes.
Absolutely. So a lot of our leads are in multiple systems, right? You may run ads, and I may run ads over here, and we both we might have some of the same leads. However, does everybody have for sale by owner leads? Does everybody have expired leads? We all have access to those, don't we? So why are we so worried if she's in my system and in her system at the same time? We're not, because we know the follow-up wins. I know you're going to see some follow-up stats in a bit. The average agent will only call their internet leads 1 time. 1.29 times to be exact. If I call it 3 times, I'm going to win compared to you or vice versa. So great question on that. And what happens is Facebook takes that algorithm and they try to find the people that they know are going to like your post. If you make it really, really small, think of a city that has like 100 people in it. Maybe none of those people are really like registering on websites. Is that going to be an expensive ad? No return, absolutely. The bigger the radius you give it. And so when I go for the big radius, and I'm not saying 3 million.
What's your radius look like when you do?
I try to hit about 250,000 people. So like when I was in Katy yesterday and I did a circle of 25-mile radius, it was 2.8 million. I'm not saying that that's the right answer. It's not going to make your lead just super cheap. You just don't want it to be 40,000 people, right?
But like, let's say it's 2 million.
Yeah.
Would you use other factors before geography, or would you go geography narrowing first before?
I'd go geography.
You do geography first and then throw in some of the other factors.
Yeah, most of us find that we want like 75,000 to 225. That's a good population size. Absolutely. Now, obviously, if you're on a city-specific ad, it's a little different. So a lot of this will make more sense here in just a second as we continue to do this. So cool. Just to recap, we're going to send people to your website from Facebook. Your website must have capture turned on. And then we're going to use a website called Bitly to help us. Anybody used Bitly before?
Yeah.
Bitly's super cool. bit.ly. This is a random question. Do you know the Joe Taylor Group? You do? Cool. I paid them thousands years ago to go sit in a small little Vegas office. So, are they still using you guys, the curator?
I think so.
Cool.
I went to the Excellence this year for the first time, so.
Were they there this year?
I don't know if they were there. I met so many people out
Just very random. I know they're a big name in that industry, so. I'm actually going to pull up their page. I use them as an example sometimes. But since you're here, I'll definitely use the curator.
Is curator like a
It is. Yep.
It's a what?
Website.
It's a website outside of KW. So cool, we're going to do a demo now on how we do this. So first off, we are going to, you want to flip the lights for me again? We're going to go to our business page. So we're going to basically make that ad on the left and show you all the steps we do to do that. So what I first do, I'm going to get real manly here, okay? I'm going to put some heart emojis in here. That one's the most manly that I think. Now, I want to show you guys something on the slideshow real fast. Does anybody see what I did in this one on the top left? What did I leave out of this line right here? 3-bed ranch in the heart of Longmont. It's got 1 bath. Does that sound like a great advertising piece? It's another thing like this that could automatically have people not click. Because if you got a family and you're like, there's no way I'm sharing a bathroom, they click on that ad, you may have just lost people by putting the bathroom number in there.
Not necessarily trying to sell them that house.
No. Not at all. It's like an open house, right? Who legitimately can say that they're open houses just to sell that house? Sometimes we do. We'll run mega events and things, but it's a lead generation source, right? The same thing here. So when we leave out, I say promote the good, leave out the bad. Right? Absolutely. So with that, that's why it's 3-bed ranch. And then people click and go, oh, well, it's too vast, I bet you it's perfect. Our job as real estate agents is to call the lead and use scripting, right? No different than when we follow up with open house leads, when we call them and go, hey, how was the home? Did you like it? Oh, it didn't fit my needs. Oh, well, like, what are your needs, right? Same thing here. Oh, after we got captured and got our information taken from our Playster website, that Anna is going to help everybody with through the tech coordinator.
Okay.
Okay. I was just saying that usually after this class is taught, a Playster class is awesome from a tech person. If you guys don't have it already, I can help with that too if you did so. Cool. So cool. Any questions on that piece? Cool. So just listed great 4-bedroom, 3-bath. So now we're going to use Bitly. So Bitly is free. It's a URL shortener. So we're gonna go to our website. So when you have your Playster website set up through KW, you're gonna go
They
find.
already have their Playster website set up.
Some do, yeah. Some do. Some
No,
don't.
everyone's is, because we use a company called UpTech Pro, right?
Yeah, it's all set up.
Cool. Cool. Perfect. If you don't know how to access it, someone can help you with it. Very good.
We'll
Very
teach
good.
that in lab next week if you guys want.
Let's get one tomorrow.
So let's say that this is the home that we're advertising. I'm just gonna pick one. Whose website am I on right now to pick this home? Your own. Has anybody ever posted from Zillow or Realtor.com a link? Yeah, a lot of us have, right? Maybe some haven't. Do you know why we don't post from Zillow or Realtor.com? Because the lead doesn't come back to us, right? And so what we do is, if this was the home that I need to do, I'm going to take this link up here and copy it. Everybody following that? Is that link very good looking? No. If I posted that in my ad, like this, is that a very attractive link? Does it make your post look very good? No. So that's what we use Bitly for. So when you go into Bitly, Bitly is a URL shortener. If you hit create, and you post this in here, and then you hit create, look what it does. It creates a really small link for you that would take you to the exact same website. So now we're able to go back into Facebook, and I'm going to put a little arrow here.
Do you keep include a call to action on your post?
I do, so I'm going to show you that right here. Because he just brought up a good point too. You guys have access to KW Mortgage, right? To see all photos, open house times. I'm not going to get super grammatically correct here. Get you guys to lunch here in a second. Open house times, special financing, etc. Click here. So you guys can make it more pretty, etc. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go find the photos. And how many photos do you think we should have? At least 2 or 3. I like to at least get 4. At least 4. That way it takes up every corner. I'm going to show you guys that. So it looks really good on your phone. If the pictures of the front of the house make it look like not a great house, do we use the front photo? No. No, it's clickbait, right? To a degree. When we make these ads, they gotta be clickable and likable. So if the kitchen, even if the bathroom is the best photo of the house, use it. Another quick topic I'm gonna get off on is who in here, that I'm gonna raise my hand as well, does not have a listing right now on the market? Cool, so my question is, in our EA book says, what about listings? They're the key to the game, right? And so they're also the key to this strategy is, my question is though, can we still do this without listings?
Yes.
Absolutely. If someone came to me out of a mindset of abundance and said, can I advertise your listing on my page? Do you know what I'm gonna do? Well, let's say that you said I could advertise your listing on my page. I'm gonna go listing courtesy of. Again, you're gonna find agents that don't have an abundance mindset. And that's fine. how many agents you got in this office that you can go talk to outside that person, right? And again, I'm not saying that you're a bad person if you don't want someone to do this on your own listing. I'm good with that. I'm just saying as a newer agent or an agent that doesn't have a listing,
Free advertising.
it's free advertising. So.
Aren't we able to advertise anything that says this?
That's a great question. Okay, so they said that yesterday too. Sorry, from Colorado, we're not allowed to. Here, if you guys are allowed to do that, that's even easier.
So we can do it without asking permission.
You have permission at your office.
At your office, because you guys don't technically own your listings, do you, as an individual?
No.
It's your office's listings, so, absolutely. So if that's the case out here, that's gonna be much easier for you guys. But anyways, I could say, listing courtesy of Chris at KW Signature, or wherever Chris is from. Perfect, so now here's my question. Can you see how you can do this without having any listings? And generate buyers, right? And it's always running for you. So, you know, you can mess with the photos here. Take that out since it's not
I'm not
what you guys
saying
want.
that's my listing.
If you do, then that's a problem, right? That's a cultural problem.
So you would say courtesy of the office?
Yeah, you can do that too. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Again, not too many photos to not be able to bring them in. So yep, just enough. I can't see enough of the house. What's the master look like? You know, things like that. Cool. So I'm going to say that this was a basic post, and I'm going to post it real fast. I got in trouble yesterday because one of my clients, I tested one of my listings out there, and I put that the listing was in Katy, Texas.
It was not.
Well, it was just a test. My client saw it in 30 seconds. So that was
So you hit boost and then?
No, so I hit publish. I haven't boosted yet. I'm just publishing a post right now.
And the link that you use is to your
to my website.
Your website where that house is also listed.
Yep. Can anybody find a mistake I just made on this post right here?
The link, you've got to click more.
The link is gone.
You have to do see more.
The basic rules of registration pages, if you have to click a lot of stuff, people fall off.
Right.
If you go on Amazon, you have to fill out 25 forms, you finally just quit because you're tired of it, right? Sometimes. Same here. So you can see I have to hit see more to see this link. We're going to want to edit that post and make sure that it's high enough. Also, put spaces in between your emojis. So now you're going to see an update. See how the link's in there now? So now it's blue, which is why we put a URL in there. You've got the photos, and now we're good to go. As simple as 2 or 3 minutes, you've made a post.
So it's actually posted, you don't have to boost it?
Well, it's posted now. Now we're going to have to boost it to get it out to Conroe. Are you guys all friends with everybody in Conroe? No, wherever. We got to get it out to Conroe now. And I'm going to show you guys a free way to do this. Let's go 5 more minutes and we're going to do lunch. Is that good? Ready at 5? Cool. So we get it ready to go, and we're going to hit boost now. Now remember, I didn't put a city, I didn't put anything on there. So when we go into the boosted section of this, boom, boom, boom. We're going to choose people who I'm going to choose. So there's all these options here. And then I'm going to hit edit. It's going to ask me, where do you want to send this ad to? Average home buyer age is 32, so we do about 25 to 65 plus. That's NAR average. I'm not sure what your averages are. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take any area that I'm willing to work and put it into here. So now what you can do is you can mess with these circles and radiuses and get them exactly to where you want them to be.
Oh, and it's telling you down there how many people you're going to reach by
270. Okay? Now let's say that you don't want to work that part of Houston. You can actually go here and you can see this one. I can actually delete that pin. And I can drop my own and put it exactly where I want. If anybody farms a neighborhood, you can actually get down to 1 mile radius. It's a little expensive, however, so are mailers and cards. So you guys do an area, you guys can do farming way cheaper. So let's just say this is the areas I'm willing to work. We're good to go. I'm at 200,000 people. I feel that that's good. See this button says exclude people? I exclude real estate agents. Because if you click on my ad, you just cost money. Not that I'm trying to hide anything. Because what you guys can learn is you can't hide anything on Facebook. If you're running ads, I can go figure out every ad you're running with your software.
So it would go to my personal page, but not my
Business page, this would be business page.
There's an info and ads button now on every.
That's that, yep, that's what I was talking about. Yep, you can see all the ads. So now we got this boosted post here. Looks good. We chose our area. Use automatic placements, we're good to go. In this case, that's fine. The budget. Now, I want you guys to remember this for later, because I'm going to teach you guys a way to do free Facebook leads. $100 will give me 1,400 people a day, okay? Let's just write that down to remember that. And then I think we're going to revisit that after lunch. $100 will get 1,400 people a day to see you're at for 7 days. I'm going to show you how we can do that for free and not cost you a dime. So then, once you're done with this, we boost down. So at the simplistic level, this is you have a listing, or if someone else has a listing, you have their photos. You make a post like this, you boost it, it just runs now.
And you don't have to put in any kind of looking in Conroe, wanting to buy a house, looking to sell, any.
I don't currently do any of that because what we're drawing in is buyers. It's piqued interest. It's just piquing their interest. It's our job as agents to go figure out what are they actually doing, right? Are they just being looky-loos and they're not buying for 2 years? Or are they looking to buy tomorrow in Conroe? Everybody always asks me, how do we lead generate for sellers? We don't. We lead generate for buyers, and buyers that are downsizing or upsizing come as a natural progression of this. So if you got a downsizer or an upsizer, what do they always go do first online?
Yes.
They go look at homes first, right? They want to know what they can buy before they make a decision to sell. If you have a good referral network, absolutely, they might call you first and go, hey, can you give me a value before I go try to buy? However, the majority of population will still go look online first. So we're capturing people in that stage. Thus why my class is called Sign Buyer's Agency, or I'm right. Because if your client hasn't called you, you haven't stayed in contact with them, and they're on my website 6 months before they were actually going to use you, and that I'm such a good agent on the phone in my scripts, and I'm just being a nice guy, and they love me, and they kind of forget about you at the time because you haven't talked to them in a year. Now you understand why clients can easily get, not stolen, because it's a legitimate business, but they might go somewhere else. It's what Zillow's been doing for years, right? They aren't telling their clients don't use them, but they're providing such a good all-around atmosphere of continual do. So, cool. All right. Well, lunchtime sounds good to me if that's good with you guys. Absolutely. Hey, but first off, do you want to say anything, sir, about lunch?
Norman.
Norman.
So you want to talk about lunch?
Talk about what?
Yeah, you want to talk about Gateway a little bit? You want to talk about Gateway for us?
He just wants to right before lunch.
Ready to eat.
You're ready to eat? All right, you're ready to eat. I don't care.
Everybody knows who we are. We're still
In-house lenders.
We do have some cookies, late potato chips, sandwiches, and all kinds of stuff back there.
Well, thank you very much. So, appreciate it. Cool. Thank you.
As you know, I say it all the time, our vendors, we're so spoiled, they come and feed us all the time. That's a business they're running, spending money on us. Are you sending them business occasionally, getting in relationship with them, right? Just saying. I mean, you may already have a lender that you love, but send them one. Something. I bet that in mind behind me.
Doesn't hurt to try us a little bit.
Doesn't hurt to give them a
Just a little piece of the pie.
I'm just gonna do it during lunch.
Cool. All right, awesome. Well, I'm thinking like 15 minutes, and then if you're still eating, we'll do a working lunch. Perfect.
Does anybody have any questions for me on the market center level? Sounded like they were.
Yeah. I think it's good.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. This is nice. Hey guys, there's some smaller cups. We have some of the big cups in our office, but they're huge. And
Those are good size.
right, that's how much sugar is enough. They're great keepers. There's also some
Right? And so I was telling, I was late, I was late to work, so I can sell as well in this process. Many times I've made stuff listing off the seller evaluation, but I lost it by so it's okay. However, we found across the industry as a whole,
I got it handled.
Get that back rolling. It's good how you do that.
And it's right here. Back end of it. We're not, I don't see my picture. I know where it's like, you get that. So it's like more than back end of the system. It's how we have that.
Avocado bakery custom.
I just want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna make tamales.
Good. I'm gonna get the, I'm parking the handicap and I'm like worried that someone's gonna come and park.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Oh, I can get it.
I'm gonna make tamales for the Christmas thing. Yeah, I've never done it. I watched the video on YouTube and I'm gonna make it. No, I'm gonna make them. It doesn't look that hard. This is one that showed how to make red sauce and green sauce and to make the tamales. And they made, I'm gonna do chicken. That's what they did. That's what I'm gonna do. So they boiled the chicken with an onion and garlic in it, and they just left that in the, they didn't cook it. They just put a big chunk of onion in it, and they took it out and let it cook. They shredded it, right? They made the salsa flour.
Get in a picture, people.
I'm in there, I think you're this way. Okay.
I didn't think I figured it. There you go.
I found something on Facebook. Yeah, he owns the office.
I have not taken the person they call them
My wife tried to put it in my house. You could use the
Triple double smash burgers for
You'll only see it when you do it. Cancel my foot appointment, I'll be back. You guys need anything? Steve, that one.
You guys want to light it over your head or you keep it up?
How are you?
Get in line to eat.
Oh, no. I'm just getting water. You're good to go? Oh, no, I appreciate it. Are they? Okay. Yeah.
So how many
Pretty sure
didn't
they're
have a,
They were two
website?
They probably about 20 of them. So what they do
And I'm sorry, we did that, but I didn't. Well, I mean, we just.
What the hell? I'm like, no, the market. All right. However, yeah, I probably check every once in a while.
It was an awesome class.
Scrape up that food with the chip.
Let's do it.
What's that? Probably one. We'll probably even get out a few minutes before that, so. Absolutely.
When you have access to it'll also give us what you're talking about on Facebook part.
What do you mean?
On the Facebook part where you're talking and telling us how to do the ad and all that.
A little bit, yeah, absolutely. So this will break down for sure the different pieces. There's some notes down here that we can see and things like that. Would be great.
And I'm sure you can probably Google how to create the ad.
Yeah, exactly. You can. Yep. I will warn a little bit against that because you're going to see some crazy stuff out there, but absolutely, yeah, some of the basic for sure. Like we had a guy in the class yesterday, showed me an ad he's been running for a few weeks, and he watched the Facebook ad to make one, and he didn't exclude realtors, he included realtors only.
Oh, no.
Like, you think that's a great ad?
Waste of time.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you the biggest thing, like for me, throughout the process was education, because he wasted $50 because he made one small mistake, right? Just like anything else, you know, if you just go out on your own and like, I would have not have been where I'm at today without my coaching, without my, you know, expertise. And that's honestly why I'm teaching, is because I paid thousands. Like when I was talking to her, one of the guys she knows, I spent $2,000 to go sit in the room for 3 hours with him. Most of us don't want to do that. I just did it because I had a goal of teaching something like this down the road. So that's kind of why I'm here, is to be able to go, hey, I can show you everything I spent thousands on for free, because hey, KW is that abundance mindset, and obviously, you know, the more people I get to meet, the better. So cool, we're going to show you guys the 3 strategies here. Do you mind grabbing the light for me? Thank you. Cool. So I like to say 3 strategies, 3 prospects every day. You know, when someone gets into Facebook, is it fair to say some people may not love Facebook ads? Is it fair to say some may just do personal page stuff? My biggest thing that I think we're going to talk about in the last hour is things change so fast, you always have to be learning. Can I be honest with you and blunt, and I don't share this with KW, do you want to know what I think the biggest pro and con to KW is? The training.
That's pro and con?
I think it's the pro and con for some people. And why I say that is, I believe some people are career class takers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong. Do not misquote me. There's nothing wrong with going to a ton of classes. But I believe that there's career class takers, and what I call a career class taker is they lead generate 0, and they take every single class the Market Center has to offer. So the balance here is technology evolves at such a fast rate to balance not taking a Facebook class every other day for 5 hours, but you know, implementing things and things like that. So everybody agrees that you kind of understand how to make this booster post. It might take some practice, things like that, we can probably figure it out. We said when we first left $100 to reach 1,400 people each day for 7 days. So how many people would be 1,400 times 7? 28, 20, 9,800. Someone's got some good math. Yeah. 9,800 people over 7 days. What if I told you you could reach 60,000 people in 1 day? For free.
Would be better.
It'd be a lot better, right? Is it fair to say that it would be a good way to test out if you even like doing something like this, right? Because there's 2 people in here. There are going to be people that love the personal page, and they're like, this ad class part was great, however, I just want to keep learning about the personal page and making a referral network and phoning that in. And there'll be some people that are like, I only want ads, I don't want to do anything with my personal page. Then you'll have both, right? Is it all fair to say that if each of those people does one deal at $6,000, you know, it's a good return, right? Absolutely. It'll pay for your time and anything you put into it. So what I'm going to show you guys here is I'm going to do a quick search for Conroe. So I'm going to search Conroe. What's the very first thing that pops up?
Big board buy sites.
Groups. Conroe, Magnolia, Woodlands. For buy, sell, and trade. Are we selling something?
Yes.
Absolutely are selling something. So, there's 37,000 people in here. That's quite a bit of people. So,
Everybody knows somebody.
everybody knows someone. Now, let me go look at the next one. Conroe yard sale. How many are in this one?
This house has a yard, right?
Yeah. 56,000 people. So, it says right, it's on the last page. So when you go back and you search something, it's going to tell you right here in the member section how many there are. So between these 2 posts, my math's not great, but I think it's 90,000 people. If I made a post in there that day, there's a chance that 90,000 people see it. Will 90,000 people see it? Are there probably duplicates of people that are in this group and that group?
Yes.
Absolutely. But even if the number is 35, 40,000, we didn't even reach but 9,800 in 7 days. I'm talking 30,000 people in 1 day.
For free.
For free. Now, what's the difference in this? The boosted post, once it's created once, it runs the entire time, the length of the post, right? 7 days. This one, when I post in here, is it fair to say if you post something for sale, it will get buried within the first few hours?
Yes.
Absolutely. So what would you do to get it back on there?
Post it again.
Post it again. You don't have to create the post over and over again. However, it's a consistency thing. However, when we're talking the average lead will cost in between $5 to $15 if you run it on a boosted post side. Averages, sometimes you'll get $1 a lead, sometimes you'll get $20 a lead. All runs differently. Here, you can consistently get 1 to 2 to 3 leads a day for free. If you post consistently and you take the extra 20 minutes a day to do it. This is a great way to practice to see if you can like doing ads in general. Yeah.
So if you belong to one of these under your personal,
Yep.
how do you do it?
That's a great question. You did this is personal now, so you do post some business stuff from your personal page. So I'm just gonna look in Denver real fast, so because I'm a part of Denver. So like this one, it's got 63,000. Let me find one to join. Denver buy trade sell right here. This is one I've joined. So when I click it, it's gonna pop up and it's gonna say, "What are you selling? What am I selling?"
Real estate.
Home for sale. I'm not gonna probably put this name. Cool, so we got that. What's the price? Unfortunately, we do have to put the price, but that's okay. It'll still hit some people. Put the zip code. What am I gonna put here?
You're gonna copy?
The copy. You could copy your ad from the other page. I could go to that other page right now.
Link in there too.
I could put the bit.ly link in there, everything like that. I'm gonna add my 4 photos real fast. So let's say that my 4 photos are this one, this one. You can pick the ones you want.
No.
Then, so let's just act like I have stuff in there. So when I hit next, this is where the game changer happens. It used to be back in the day that I had to manually do this all. Facebook's changed since then. When I hit next, look what it gives me a list of.
Oh, yes, other places.
All of the other groups that I'm a part of. So if you guys all go join 20 Conroe groups, your 20 Conroe groups will come up as a list here. So I know off the top of my head it's posting in the one I chose. This one has 10,000 members. This one has 10,000 members. This one's got 20,000 members. So can you see that as I'm selecting all ones, hey look, it's great.
Put it in what it does to all.
Yep. And then you can do this, you can do that. You can go post to 8, 9 groups. Now you can see how I'm getting up into the 130, 140,000 people range.
And these are all ones that you belong to?
These are all ones I belong to. So I'm going to show you guys how to find all the ones you belong to. Now, if I hit post, right this second, it will appear in the newsfeed of people.
And then buried.
And then they'll get buried. Right? So is this a great time to post this?
No.
No. Tonight would be. So it's all about the getting. Now you know why the lists are so important. Because if you don't have a list and you have 4,000 friends, you're going to spend an hour going through your friends list just to like things. And then you're like, I'm spending an hour to go post all these things in a group. Now you can see why a lot of people don't do this. Because you got to be organized first. It's the base, right? You can get your friends list where you can like things in 5 minutes. And then you come over here and spend 15 minutes on this. You've covered 2 birds with 1 stone in terms of time. Liked everybody. Now you got the post out there. You got leads coming to your website. So I'm not going to hit post on there. But what you guys can do is when you're on your home page, remember the explore button over here where it said friends list? The button here that says buy and sell groups. So when you click buy and sell groups, it's going to give you a list of all the groups that are as close to you as possible. So you guys can see right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm gonna probably, so you can see all these groups. I mean, some are smaller, right? But 2,000 people is still a fifth of $100. So there's a lot of mom groups that are really good. Like obviously men don't really do this, but like single moms have groups. I only know that because I tried to join some of them by accident because I mass added things. They're like, what is this dude doing? Okay, he's looking for a date, I guess. So yeah, so I mean obviously like you guys have a lot of mom groups or like pregnancy support. Those are all great groups, not to make post homes in, but still to be a part of in general because you can post things into there that exactly. So you know, there's an endless amount of groups. Car mechanics have groups. Job postings. If you guys are looking to recruit, this is a great way to do recruiting. If you guys have a recruiting event, like a career night, job postings, if you post into a job posting with 4,000 people in there, and you're like, hey, are you looking for a part-time job or a full-time job, and you put it in an event link, and they register, these are great groups, because you just got in front of 4,000 people. We recruit most of our team through these methods. That's how we grew from 0 to 22 people. Was through that. I mean, we use Indeed and Wise Hire, but this is another big piece of it, is our career nights. Off topic, I'm not gonna go through it. Anybody ever hear of a first-time homebuyer seminar? Mm-hmm. Yep. Couldn't you make an event link on Facebook and then post that into these groups? Now someone's gonna be smart and tell me, well, what are you selling? I'm selling them a free event seminar. Most of the time, they will let it go through. My question though is, who are these groups monitored by?
There's one main administrator usually, and if they like you, you're good. If they don't like you, you're not.
Exactly. So I always like to say your first post needs to look really good. You need to hint that it's your listing, if it is.
And some of them will only let you sell, try to sell business type things
Absolutely.
on certain days. So you have to be real careful.
Yeah, so there's rules in these things. However, I like to say there's so many groups available. Find the ones that like you. Find the ones that like you and stick with those. The very first time you ever get ads accepted in these, because they have to approve your post, send the admin a thank you. Because then they forever
remember you.
They forever like you after that.
And make sure you go back and show them as sold or whatever, because that also cleans up their website.
So just as an example, like, and I know we're talking about more than one group at a time here, but if I was to just break it down, because I'm a food person and I'm on a foodie page, and I'm always in it, and now I'm starting to build relationships. But let's just say I wanted to like directly get them from that to me.
Yeah.
What kind of things could I run on something that, like my running group, I can't post it, listen, on my foodie group, I can't post, but I know those people and when I engage, how could I get them from there?
Well, let's say I put content. I put content, so hey, you go look at a running article online, here are the best shoes for running to not hurt your feet.
And just add them to a list and continue to friend them and focus on that.
Yeah,
list.
and in that group, you may post, hey, here are the best 10 pair of shoes for runners.
Okay.
You're adding value rather than you are trying to capture their information.
Best running trails in
Yeah, best running trails and,
But do it around a list first.
That's what I would do. And then you can also post it straight into the group.
Specifics too.
Specifics, yeah, absolutely. Not a great question. So yeah, so I mean, can you see how that could be very effective? Like lenders will a lot of times do this with me. So anybody ever run a first-time home buyer seminar and no one showed up? All right, it's me and Chris. If some of you may have just not ever run one, if you run one, first-time home buyer seminar, and you post the first-time home buyer seminar in here with a lender, we've never seen less than about 15 people show up in the room to learn about buying and selling homes. Mostly buying, obviously.
Well, they have a lot of questions.
They have a lot of questions, right? And so I bring a lender in it. So if I have to post these, like if I have a first-time home buyer seminar and I'm two weeks out, I make the event and I'm posting into here, could I leverage my time by pairing with a lender to have him also be posting these? Because do they just have as much benefit in the deal as you do? Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's a good way to leverage your time and really partner up with good people. Back up. Cool. So does that kind of, it's not too in-depth there, but does that make sense how you could get free leads?
Yep.
Yes.
That's why making the boosted post and sharing it into those groups over and over and over again. Of course, nighttime, 6 to 8 p.m. are the best because everybody's at home, right? They're appearing at the top of their news feed. Saturday and Sunday mornings, which is about 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. roughly, because most people are rolling out of bed because they're still waking up on their weekday schedule, checking their phones, doing that type of thing.
So are you just essentially posting the same post you would have put on your business page in there?
Exactly, basically. And now I want to show you something.
Can I ask you a question? How do you duplicate, there's two things I need. I need to know how to do that. Just maybe touch on it again, that bit.ly shorter little URL thing. And then a lot of times I try to copy and paste and all that, but how do you get your whole ad from your business page on all of those other beg, buy, barter things?
You just have to remake them.
You have, each one has to be remade.
Has to be
I was
remade.
trying to make that easier.
Yeah, I wish it was easier. Unfortunately, it's the progression of free.
Yeah.
to pay.
Yeah,
Right. Obviously, do I do as many free ads anymore? Not as much anymore because we have good revenue coming in from the boosted. However, when I first got started, my first 2 years, I didn't do anything but free. I mean, we turned 180,000 in commission just on the free post alone. For me, that was plenty. I mean, why would I change anything up, you know, in that type of situation? That's a great question. So it's a great leverage piece. A lot of times what people do is in an office, they might have an admin. They might hire them at $5, you know, or whatever. And it's, you can find leverages too.
I don't understand. What are you saying? When do you have to duplicate an ad?
She's asking to put it into the group. She would just like to take the one from her business page
And just,
copy it over and just
and you really
magically go
can,
into the group.
there's certain things you have to fill out and add your picture.
Yeah,
and-
absolutely.
I thought there might be an easier way, that was.
Honestly,
You have to recreate it.
I'll tell you there is a way. Not easy, but there is a way. We can maybe talk about that one class. It's not easy, it's kind of complicated. You can do some sharing in of the post and things like that, so.
Okay.
So a post you can
share
easily, it's just the ad you can't.
Correct.
I got you.
Occasionally, it'll bring up a list and say, do you want to add it to this, and it'll let you do that.
Yeah. Which that's kind of the piece we'll talk about with
Okay.
it, so.
But I don't get that all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Question here. So this is a group out of Vegas. They don't really work for any company. However, I want you guys to I want to show you something. Did they really take the MREA book and listings, leads, and leverage seriously? And I want you to tell me what you see over and over again on their post here. Like
Houses.
Emojis.
emojis. See, they may have a random like blog type post every once in a while. I just want you guys to realize that a majority of their posts are just listings. Because here's the thing, we used to have to make posts and do ads at separate times. When we're making our ads, what is it automatically doing on your business page?
Posting.
It's building your post as you go. So now you can totally take out your schedule, figuring out what to post on your business page, and just run ads, whether they're free or paid for. There's no longer a need to post because if someone sees all these listings when they come to your website, what's the perception?
That they're yours.
That they're yours, even if like they clearly on a lot of these say that they're not. Like this one, I bet you says it's not. Yep, see listing courtesy of Chris Williams, Black Cherry Real Estate. However, when you click the link, it all comes down to get instant access. You know, there's it's a little different. But yep, same principle. However, I want to show you guys something here in just a second. So some of these take off really well, right? Is it fair to say some open houses are better than others?
Yes.
Okay, well if one open house is running really well, are you going to leave if there's a line out the door at the time you said you were done?
No.
How? If it's so dead and it's vacant and you're there for 4 hours, you decide to run out 30 minutes early, are you probably going to do that?
No.
Possibly.
I may start packing up.
Exactly. I don't leave open houses early often, alright. So basically what I say is like when we go up here, I want to give you an example, is like this one had 181 and 20 comments, this one had 255 reactions and 35 comments.
How many followers do they have?
They have 17,000. But now guess what? Guess how they built that?
One at a time.
What they did, all they did was run free and boosted post ads. I'm not sure about free, I only learned the boosted strategy from them a bit. However, because that's what happens when you boost properties and people like your page.
Then they share it a lot.
Then they share it and people just like it, right? People in Conroe start to see your listing over and over again, now they like your page. So now you're not having to invite friends to like your page, you're getting random strangers to like your page.
I've had some better open houses when I've done this in all these areas.
You know how you do this? Just listed open house this weekend, get price, location, and open house time by clicking the link. Now you're getting leads and open house advertising. Can you guys see how someone that only does advertising just with like the picture and the address and the location isn't fully capitalizing? They're spending the same amount of money as this person is that's capturing leads. That's the difference. I mean, that's why my team can outsell the person next door to me doing the exact same amount of business, because they take the listing, the time, and the photo, And cool, they get traffic to the open house, absolutely. But what are they missing out on for the same dollars that I'm capitalizing on? It's the leads coming in. So we have 2 sources of lead gen going on at once for the same dollar as their 1. And it's usually not that it's just usually lack of knowledge, right? That's the same way when I got in the industry. I was doing that and someone taught me this and I'm like, oh, perfect. That changed my world. You can double your income. So, what I was going to show you here is these comments come in here, okay? So see all these people commenting and tagging people? Well, what's really cool is Justine tagged Kyle. What do you think I'm going to do with these?
Invite them to like.
I'm gonna like them, number 1, but more importantly, I'm not gonna add them as a friend, because this would get crazy if I was adding 30 people in comment a day as a friend. However, I will message them, because remember,
Thanks for sharing.
I will message them, because when they're on your business page, you can message them from your business page. So when I could message Justine and go, hey, is Kyle looking for a home, or are you guys looking for a home together? And they might go, yeah or no, but if I got 35 chances, the bold rule says have 20 conversations a day. But I probably have some pretty good conversations out of these messengers. Absolutely. And you're gonna see, you're gonna see some questions where it's like, what's the price? Things like that. This person asked.
Do you private message them when you
I
do
did,
that?
yeah, I private message them. Because it's for my business page, so it's not like clogging up my personal page. And
So how do you private message?
Yep, so let me go to my business page real fast. I'll show you one of our boosted posts, how we would message them. Great question.
Can you show how to private message them and how to tag them?
Yep.
And how much time do you spend a day on
Facebook? An hour maybe? An hour, possibly. And I'm not even all that leveraged out. I still run all of our ads and everything. Probably, I'd say an hour. Average, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm a young guy and I play on Facebook for more enjoyment purposes, right? I'm still that millennial that's on
Still
here
can't
for-
get over that you can't rent a car. I feel really old.
Let me rephrase. I can rent a car from one place, but it would have $1,400 for 4 days.
Oh my gosh.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not worried about it. Yeah, like I'm moving to Austin on Friday.
Wow.
It's like it's $150, but compared to $1,400, I'm like, why would I spend $1,400 and drive and run the risk of that?
Yeah,
Or
One of us will drive you for half.
You can get business done while you're at it.
Exactly. So, sorry question. So, like, let's say this one. It's not necessarily a boosted post, but it's one of our new agents. If I'm in my business page right now, if Jake had said, "What's the price of this home?" There's a message button right next to their name. Okay. So when you're on your business page and you're looking at your post, let me see if I can find a better example. Yeah, like we got one under contract here. Cassidy said, "Great job." If I want to say, "Hey, Cassidy, thanks for the comment," it'll pop it up. You can write them a message. What's even better is Facebook will now put the post that you messaged them about in the message.
So
that way they remember what you're talking about.
And that's only seen by them?
That's only seen by them. Yep, it's a private message, only seen by them. Absolutely. So like I can message here, we can be totally good to go. Great question. Cool. Any questions on that part? Can you see how the free strategy could literally make you an extra $9,000 with 10 minutes a day?
Yes. Can you private message on your personal page?
Yeah, absolutely. You could as well. Yeah, absolutely. It'll pop up which one you want to do it from. I choose business because if I got 20 comments on a post and I'm doing my personal page strategy during the day and they all start intermixing with each other, it's a little confusing. So, great question. Back it up here. Alright, so finding by trade, sell groups, everybody understand? Oh yeah.
So, did you say you join these groups on your business page or on your?
You have to do it from your personal page.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah, we do. Because remember, here's the thing, when you join all these pages from your business page, or from your personal page, are things gonna come into your feed?
Yeah.
That's a lot of things gonna be going for sale.
Right.
However, remember, that's our junk feed.
Right.
If we have our list set up right, you won't see any of it.
And if you unfollow them,
Yeah.
you can unfollow them and get that jump down.
Absolutely. So now you understand why we spend so much time on the list piece of it.
Right.
It seems really awesome but simplistic. There's like, why are you teaching me this in a Facebook ads class? It's because if you don't have that, you can't do a lot of this other stuff without going crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question.
Well, and they're starting to allow business pages to share to groups now.
Well, so that's what I'm going to show her. at the end of class, anybody that wants to stay around after, you're absolutely right. Because it's allowing some of those advertisers to take advantage of maximizing leverage time.
So testing and measuring personally and business would be the thing.
So everybody get how to find the groups? Okay, pretty easy, just search in the bar and groups just pop up. Just join as many as you can. I think I looked yesterday, I went to the hotel last night and I was just curious. There's like 300 groups in Metro Denver, or Houston, Metro Houston. So it doesn't even hurt the outskirts of northern Houston, maybe if you're not willing to work them. If it's just an extra click and an extra lead, why would you not? Because you could refer it if you don't want to work it, right? Absolutely. So why not hit 3 North Metro groups? The person may be going, I'm moving to Sugar Land, and you're like, well, I don't work Sugar Land, but I know Chris back here does, so, things like that, and vice versa.
I'll take Sugar Land referrals.
Track and report. So I have a spreadsheet I keep track of. It just lists every single group I'm a part of. There's 160 in Denver that I use. So that's all I'm saying is if you guys simplify it, just put the group name and then maybe make a simple Excel sheet with the link. Super easy. We already demoed that. We talked about first-time home buyers. All right, we're kind of into the follow-up now to a degree. We'll kind of wrap up here probably the next 15 to 10 minutes. Understanding the follow-up. So with Facebook calls, we're about 6 calls in. Well, 90% of the time, we will be able to have a chance of making contact after the 6th call. That's not saying that if you don't call them fast, you're not getting a hold of them. But here's the thing, speed to lead. If you get a lead in and you call them right away, where are they at?
Available.
Right by their phone.
Because over 80% of leads that we run go to mobile. Right? Some go desktop, however, the majority go to mobile. Our stats are about 80% are mobile. And so when they're mobile and they register on our website with our thing, we call them right away. What?
Nobody's posting fresh. You're on top of things.
You're on top of things, right? Sometimes we call them so fast they get kind of confused. They're like,
I just clicked that.
I just clicked that. I haven't even gotten a chance to look at it. So, absolutely. Absolutely. So the key here is usually, did you just say you might sound desperate?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you call them too fast, you may sound a little desperate. So I honestly won't call. I call it like right at 4 minutes. Because if you guys ever got a text message from someone and it's so fast from the company, you're like, that was automatic. Right? You're like, not even 10 seconds. When we text people after they come in, if they don't answer their phone, we delay it. This is going to make a lot of people cringe, so hold on just a second. I also misspell the word you. Y-O-U. I misspell it. Because when they register on a website, what do they think is coming from the website in email and text form? Robo. Even my robos are misspelled. My robo will misspell you and send it to them. Again, I'm not saying that that's like the end of the world if you don't do that. I'm just saying that's
That
a little...
will make some people cringe.
It absolutely will make some people cringe. They're going to go, Justin, you're crazy. I'm not listening to that. I don't think you should have to, right? That's just a tip and trick I found to get better response. Again, if I spell it, I think it's a person. Like, who in here would set their robo-dialer as spelling sys wrong? No one, right? So again, it's just thinking a little bit outside the box. I'm not saying that you want to present yourself in that fashion. However, that's usually the answer I get from everybody is, cool. So just some more stats for you guys. They're kind of mind-boggling. 44 hours is the average response time to leads.
You lost it by then.
Yeah, you lost it by then. 78% of sales on internet leads go to the first responder. So even though we might bolt the posted 3 posts that night and some get captured in both systems, 78% of the time they go to the first responder. Even if your scripts are awful, if you have no clue what you told them, if you're the first one to go, they will usually pick you. 1.29 is the number of attempts to make follow-ups on average. That includes text messages, emails, and phone calls. Well, that includes automated emails and text messages. Are we really ever even calling them? I think that's the other thing about for sale owners and expireds is we all think that they're getting dialed off the hook. The reality is they're really not. They all might be on the first call,
but they never call them back.
They never call them back, right? Exactly. They may all get one call, but they won't call second, third, and fourth time. So I like to say response time is where my team wins. Like honestly, we're recording this, but we have someone undisclosed on my team whose scripts are awful. Awful. That's partly my fault. However, they are one of the best converters. Converted like $4 million in the first 3 months in internet leads.
Script stuff? that bad.
The scripts were pretty bad. However, it was the response time. He called enough people fast enough who didn't care. He had more conversations, right? If he had 100 conversations at bad scripts compared to someone that only had 10 conversations at great scripts, who's going to win? The 100 conversations with bad scripts, you know. Of course, if you could have had 100 conversations with great scripts, you would have gone a lot farther. But yeah.
Everyone has their own way of doing it.
Absolutely, I agree. Scripting is key. Does anybody want to hear how we talk to our internet leads?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. Who wants to role play with me? You do?
Yeah.
Alright, you want to role play? Cool. You want to flip on the lights for me? You want to come up here with me?
Okay.
Guess that's easier. And then, nothing about you if you turn backwards. I don't see. Because I don't talk to my leads.
Okay.
So cool. Well, I'm just gonna ring her. She just registered on our website. I'm gonna role play a little bit. We'll see if she's nice. Chris role played with me yesterday. He was kind of mean about it, so we'll see how nice she is.
I call expired.
I was like, wow. So cool. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, this is Justin over with Search Northern Colorado Homes. How are you?
Fine.
Good. Cool. Hey, well, yeah, awesome. Well, it's glad to hear you're doing fine. I was just giving you a call this morning as I saw you had registered on our website. Just wanted to make sure you were being taken care of, and more importantly, wanted to learn more about your home buying situation.
Awesome, yeah, I'm good. I'm just kind of looking.
Perfect. So you're probably a few months out,
Right.
if not years out, probably.
Right.
Cool. Well, as you probably saw on our website, 90+% of our website visitors are also 6 months plus out.
Okay.
So I saw that you're looking in the Katy area with a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That was the ad you registered on. Is that kind of what you're looking in 6 to 12 months for?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, just to let you know, unfortunately, this website does a lot of good for our people, and it's going to email you every day with new listings in that criteria. Are those the type of emails you want to get?
Not daily.
Not daily? Okay, perfect. Well, the system also does bi-weekly or monthly.
Okay, monthly.
Monthly. Perfect. Awesome. Well, I just set that up for you just now. I'm going to give you a call in a month if that's okay, just to make sure you got them, and I hope that you are preparing well for your 3 to 6 month home purchase.
Awesome. Yes.
Thank you. Bye. So we're gonna role play again here in just a second. What we got to was the home buying situation. What did she give me when I said, "What is your home buying situation?"
Time frame.
She gave me a little bit of a time frame, but she didn't give me much information.
She gave you permission.
She gave me permission. Here's the thing that I do with internet leads is when it gets to home buying situation, you get 2 types of people. Completely shut you off, which she did a little bit, not totally, or they just blab their entire life story to you for 30 minutes. What she did is she shut me off a little bit. So, either one, she just does not want to buy at all, or number 2, she's a little ways out. She's a little ways out. I'm not saying, so she said 6 months probably was fine. That means she's probably 3 months from buying. We always cut the time in half, right? If they tell me that it's okay to call them in 6 months, we need to call them sooner. And so for her, I was not getting an appointment probably. Or what's the good of me getting an appointment really, to be honest with you?
She's not ready.
She's not ready, so I pushed it off. Now again, don't take not ready for as they're seriously not ready, because a lot of times people put up that facade, or you know.
Just looking.
However, guess what I'm gonna do? I told her I was gonna call her in a month, I'm gonna call her in 10 days. And go, hey, I saw my system actually emailed you twice this month, I apologize. Is that what you were looking for to make sure I can set up correctly going forward? And then she'll go, oh yeah, I mean, no one's gonna go, oh man, I'm pissed off at you because you did an extra day, right? But it's a good reason for me to reach back out to her, and I can reset that follow-up. I can also track to see what she looked at. So if you guys go to Playster and things like that, Playster doesn't have this yet, but KW Command will, so just be on the lookout for that. Now, let's say she gave me her life situation. You wanna give me your life situation real fast?
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So, can you kind of learn a little bit more about your home buying situation?
Okay, so, I need to get out of my current house, like
Okay.
pronto.
Perfect. Awesome. Is there any reason you're trying to get out of your current house? I'm assuming, is it like a rental or?
It's a rental they're selling.
Ah, they're selling, okay. So you are probably falling within that 90-day rule, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So have you gone through the Texas State Homebuyer Program?
No, I'm really busy.
No, okay. So you're your first time homebuyer though?
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I'm assuming that you're really going to want to go through the Texas State Homebuyer Program then, just to make sure that, what you're purchasing is the right thing. Is that probably fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, perfect. Well, Well, lucky enough, our office runs the Texas State home buyer program every day on the hour, up until about 9 o'clock each night. I know that you're in a hurry, and I want to make sure that you're taken care of and not misplaced. What day this week works best for you?
What is this?
Yeah, so basically the first time home buyer program in Colorado, it's basically just a little quick seminar. It tells you about the entire home buying process, because it's probably fair to say you've never been through the process yet, right?
Right. How long is it?
It's probably 15 to 20 minutes tops.
Okay.
So I mean, I know you said you're super busy, so I want to respect your schedule. We even work on the weekends. Again, like I said, the class is on the hour, every hour until 9 o'clock, Monday through Sunday. What time works best for you?
Tomorrow night at 5.
Okay, perfect. I bet you there may be a few other people in your situation. Again, it's just real quick. We'll get you in and out, and any questions you answer about the process to make sure that you don't become homeless. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. We will see you tomorrow night at 5 then. Perfect. So now you see, you can name it whatever you want. Like, I don't know what would be a contradictory name out here, but do you understand what I was doing with every hour on the hour for 7 days?
You're basically telling her you're find
You're
some time
available.
in there.
I'm going to find time, and it's an appointment. However, if I said, hey, I would really like to have an appointment with you, what are you going to say?
I'm busy.
I got to offer value, and the seminar is a great way for us to do that. You can call it first-time home buyer lecture, or whatever you want to call it, whatever flows off your tongue. I just used a bad one. Don't say Texas State, because then you're almost emulating a program that's required. But use something like our team uses. Hey, have you ever been through the first-time home buyer class? Oh, no, you haven't. Well, most first-time home buyers go through a first-time home buyer class or seminar, and then guess what happens when they show up and I have my presentation? What is it labeled? Yeah, it's called first-time home buyer class. But what does it actually roll into? The buyer presentation. Which our buyer presentations are usually just what? Walking someone through the process. Right? So can you understand how it takes that pressure off of them? And if this is, our ISAs did this and it became much more successful for them because they were able to, take the pressure of an appointment off. Like, hey, do you want to meet me at blah at XYZ time? No, not really. But however, we always ask open-ended questions. Is it fair to say this is the biggest purchase of your life? Well, yeah. I mean, for most people it is. And then she's going to go, yeah, it absolutely is. And I go, okay, well then, wouldn't it be fair that you probably want to have a class on it then, right? It's not buying a car. So. Make an informed decision, right? So whatever, that's just a trick, a trick we use to take the pressure off of them to get that appointment set. And then, crazily a lender happens to be in the office at the same time that they say they're going to be there, right? If, like for us, we have an in-house lender just like Gateway. I'll go grab him if he's there at 5, drag him in and go, hey, by the way, I think you should meet these people. They just came in for a home buyer seminar type of thing. So, cool, thank you.
Awesome.
Absolutely, thank you.
Good job.
So the last thing I really have to cover before we skirt out of here is daily alerts. Why is Zillow so great at what they do? Constant contact, and they have people coming back to their website over and over and over again. Why is that? What do they send them on a daily basis?
Listings that fit the listings they were originally looking at.
Right?
Because they create.
Because they created a search. My question is you guys use Matrix down here for HAR?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you want to take let's say you got 1,000 leads, whether they're free, paid, or whatever, would you want to take those leads and put them all into your HAR accounts and them all daily emails? No. That's time consuming, right? I'll tell you some of the new technology that's coming out is supposed to have all of that built in. So like, it will actually send alerts to your clients on a daily basis. So like for me, my CRM sends every single client a home every single day for them to look at. Can you see how that re-engages them with me every day and brings them back into my website?
Well, that's what the Matrix setup does, right?
But you just said you don't want to do it for that.
Well, so I don't know. I don't know about all your guys' intricacies. However, I think about it this way. It comes in my lead gen CRM. We only convert probably 3 out of every 100 internet leads. So would you want to go spend the time to make 100 search engines and send them out to people? And here's the other thing. If you have hundreds of people in your HAR account, it's going to start to be blocked as spam. Because you're going to be sending so many search engines out, people are going to start unsubscribing. And now, when you have a real buyer that's actually looking, what happens? It's in spam, and now you're the agent that has a spam HAR account. How good of an agent can you be if your listings can't even get to your client? you now became a 1980s agent that has to manually go look for that client every day because your account's spammed, right? Or go get new accounts or do whatever, right? But that's just not fun stuff to do. Yep, exactly. So, cool. Well, real fast, before I have one last subject on friends list to cover and automation, I have a video here, so let me find this real fast. I want to show you guys this because this is super cool. I didn't show this yesterday. We didn't have time. However, I think this is really
Lead
cool.
Accelerator is your tool.
So, little preface. This is KW Command. So they believe so much in Facebook ads, Google ads, all that. They've built a lot of this into the new KW Command. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you KW Command, and we'll get you out of here.
And to be able to market your business and market your listings. So let's dive right into it. So it's really simple. You come up here and create your first ad or campaign. This is going to tell you, okay, what is my campaign name? What do I need that to be? What is the schedule going to look like? How long?
What happened?
Oh, this pod. Wait a second. So this is a video of him in KW Command. Frozen. All right, we'll restart this real fast. My computer will sometimes do that on videos. We'll restart real fast, but I'll hand you guys some stuff real fast. Can you flip on the lights for me? Yeah. Perfect. So everybody always asks how they can stay in contact with me. Is it fair to say that I can't answer all your questions tomorrow?
Yes.
From an Uber?
No.
From an Uber? Hey, come on. So honestly, because I teach 130 market centers this year, I'll just gotta be honest, I can't help each and one every year. You can call my cell phone, right? So we've created systems to help you guys stay in contact with us. I'll let you start that one. So has anybody ever tried to been sold a product that was like $1,000, $3,000 for social media?
Yep.
Yeah. Is that good? No, because here's the reality is, what if you don't like it? What if you absolutely hate Facebook ads? Is that a good system to have? No, not at all. So part of the reason I'm teaching in classes now is to fix that problem, and I'm going to pass these out along with you too, is one of my biggest goals for my MAPS coach was to make teaching more affordable. Because I spent thousands of dollars and things like that. So basically what we created, getting this started for you because the kid at man's huge. Basically what we created was a mastermind group after the class that people can join for $50 a month, which honestly is really nothing in comparison to your buddy who lost $50 in his first ad, right? The mistakes you can make. Is it fair to say some of the technical knowledge today was pretty technical and the buttons could change tomorrow?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If the buttons change on a personal page strategy we taught, you can't figure out how to fix it, was this class for nothing? It's not for nothing, but you got to figure out how to do it now, right? You might go spend hours figuring out how to do it. So we created a mastermind group and videos, more importantly, that you guys can sit there and watch. So if you guys are on the black and white page, the one black and white, it's got the Facebook University. I went on vacation, like I was telling Anna, for 3 weeks, and I created over 60 videos that average about 30 to 45 minutes on total. Some are like 10 minutes, that are screen shares of my mouse. Okay? Does that make sense? You watch the video, it's a screen share of my mouse, it changes the screen. Now here's the most important thing. What is wrong with most courses? It's a one and done, right? Things change. Do you think they go back and let you redo it?
The second you try to implement anything, you
It
got
changes.
a million questions.
Yes, absolutely. So every single month, I go and hibernate for 5 days, and I go change all the videos. So the videos are always updating. So like those 60 videos are updated the next month. So long story short is, $50 a month. You guys don't have to read through all the garbage of the pricing. It's kind of complicated. Basically, it's $50 a month per person that wants to be a part of it. You get access to all the videos. You're sent new videos every month. When KW Command goes out, we'll teach hours of streaming on it to be able to help you guys walk through those processes. We're a big believer in, if you're not willing to get teaching and coaching, and I'm not saying it has to be through me, just in general, right? Is it fair to say we all need a coach of some sort? If you're like walking out of here going, I don't want any, if you're walking out of here going, I don't ever want to do social media, don't even consider it, right? I don't want you to because it'd be a waste of your money. However, if you're like, hey, I want to be intentional, whether it's personal page or whether it's the ad side, I want to keep learning, because I only taught you about 30% of what we do today. That's why it's a 12-hour class. So if you're like, hey, I want my assistant to watch these videos, or I'm a marketing person, or I'm an agent, I'm looking to grow, you know, that's a great option for you to keep learning without me having to come teach you guys 5 hours every 2 months, because unfortunately I can't be out here to do that. So, any questions on that piece?
So if you had a, so, in your opinion, what is the minimum time commitment for someone who might join a $50 a month to get going and get moving and to put the time block? So
Great question. So I can put you in contact with some other people that do it too. Most people do 20 to 30 minutes a day. Okay, so that's what most people do, because like the first video, if you've never built a business page, I'm actually going to show you guys what the system looks like, because I'm not a believer in having you try to join something that you're like, I don't even know what it is. So I'm going to show you guys that after I show you the KW command video. However, great question. We say 20 to 30 minutes a day. There's about 60 videos. And then once you do 20 to 30 minutes a day, you're probably through it in about 25 days. You do 20 to 30 minutes a day. It kind of starts through the foundation. I showed you how to do friends list. Like your question about complicated, how do I save time doing free strategies by just copying things? I have a video on that, right? And I'll show you today too. However, those are the type of things that help you leverage time. You can save 2 hours a month from that one video because you know how to copy and paste right now. That's where the value is, right? Absolutely. So let me get this up here real fast for you guys. And obviously as KW Command comes out, all that technology rolls out. Me and Chris were talking about this yesterday. One of the huge values of the group is once a month, and even sometimes twice a month, you guys can submit questions into the group. So let's say you have a question tomorrow. You can submit a question into the group. My assistant will record the question. On Fridays, I do Q&A webinars. Do you want to sit through a 4-hour webinar trying to figure out where your question popped up? We'll tag you in the minute where your question comes up. I will be going through the video and going, hey, you know, Chris from Katy, Texas had a question. You know, Bob from Conroe had a question here, and then you'll get sent the message that says you were tagged at this time period. You can get your question answered. So it's a way to stay in contact with me without actually having to call me. And, you know, it is a little delayed, but I'm not charging you $1,000 a month to be your personal coach, right? This is an extra assistant. So, all right, let's see if this works this time.
Lead Accelerator is your tool and command to be able to market your business and market your listings. So let's dive right into it. So really simple. You come up here and create your first ad or campaign. This is going to tell you, okay, what is my campaign name? What do I need that to be? What is the schedule going to look like? How long is it going to be? What's my budget look like? And then what's my campaign goal? Is it to get listings? Is it for recruiting? Is it to just to market my brand, maybe market an event, or just something custom? And then right here.
So I'm going to stop this a few times. So this is all in my KW. It's not there yet, but it will be. This is all in my KW, so you can see how they go above and beyond just Facebook, right? So it's a really cool way to have it all in one place.
Here we have an example of what some of these ad channels are going to be. AdWords, Facebook ads, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then to the next door and so on. So you come in here, you put the campaign name, you select which ones you want, the campaign goal, click create, and when you click create, it's going to bring you to a page where you set up these ads. So right here, you're going to be able to choose a property. Right now our goal is to market a listing, and when we do that, we can select a listing from KWS. So we'll come in here, select the listing that we want to use. This is automatically going to pull all that information over for you that you need from that listing. It's got the schedule over here, here's the property, the campaign goals, listing, and then here's all the different campaigns that we clicked on. We've set the budgets for those, and then when you come down a little bit lower, you can see, okay, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and AdWords are all going to have their own customization. So you come in here, you start editing, okay, I want this to be an Instagram story, here's the images I'm going to use, these images are directly coming from MLS. You can do some ad targeting that's standardized using the algorithms that we've built for you, or you can come in here and actually toggle expert mode.
So you see how they kind of simplified a little bit of this? So they're building ads right now in my KW. So could you see how this might adjust for you in February? Because now they're using it at a very simplistic level and not making you log into Facebook. You can do this from my KW. Did you catch how they pulled a listing from the KWLS? It was connected to your account or the office's account already. Now you don't have to do photos. It's all about saving you guys time.
Mode gives you the capability to build out any campaign you want. Down here too, you're going to see, okay, what is that campaign preview going to look like? Here's a Twitter ad preview also. Once you save that, then that campaign starts running. It'll say it's a multi-channel campaign. And we're also going to give you analytics across all of the channels. And that's really the power that you have with the accelerators, being able to aggregate that information into one place, and then also be able to see, okay, You know, I can tell how many impressions I got on a campaign. I can tell how many click-throughs I've gotten, how many leads that.
So this is why we know that KW Command is going to have lead capture. Because look, it's showing you that your ads for 160 bucks got 1,201 impressions. 904 of those people clicked it. 512 leads were generated. 123 clients that actually you put that you contacted ended up closing 45. Does that kind of make sense? So some really cool stuff coming out of it.
How many clients I converted from those leads, and then finally how those closings look. So you can see, based on a dollar amount, what is a dollar spent on Facebook, or what does a dollar spent on Instagram translate over to with gross commission income? That's all going to show up right here for you. You can see performance, cost per clicks, across channels. You can come in here and see it in a little bit different way if you want. So you can see, okay, how many impressions am I getting over time? So something else that we built in here too is the ability to pick real mailers. Real mailers are your ability to send physical postcards to contacts in your database or contacts in a certain area around a specific listing or property that you want to send as well. You know, I'm going to create a campaign with real mailers. Click real mailers, click create, and then you're going to be able to go select a listing. You put the listing in, you create the campaign, it's already pulling the pictures from that listing, from the MLS, it's pulling all the information from the MLS. So you have the address, you have the list price, bedrooms, bathrooms. Here's the description we have. You can put your company information in, and at the same time be able to put a specific agent's image in there if you want to do that. And then we're also going to have postcard templates because we know that all agents don't see these the same way. But you're going to be able to create your own templates, put your own images in here, and make this really feel like it's your brand. So you're going to come in here, you're going to click next. It's going to start generating this postcard for you. Be able to target who you specifically want to send this to. So, hey, I want to send this to the closest 500 homes. You know, maybe I want to send it to all houses or single family or multifamily homes. I want to determine, okay, I only want 3 to 5 bedrooms. I want between 1,200 and 1,400 square feet. The year built. I only want some newer houses. Also, what did it last sell for? So next, you just hit next, determine your area. It look like this, and it expand or contract. We also give you the capability to draw whatever area. If you only want these certain streets, you can be able to do that with this. Next step, it will generate this postcard for you. And that is our lead accelerator tool, and really excited about where that's going, how it can implement it to help drive more leads so you can grow.
So what did you say?
Yeah, it's very, honestly, I think, don't quote me on this, I think they do bought Remind. I do think they bought Remind. So KW is acquiring a lot of these companies.
So what is the release schedule?
What's that?
What is the release schedule?
Oh, what schedule?
Release. What is your release schedule?
When is this coming out? I can't say for certain because I'm not that high up power. All of us are assuming family reunion.
What?
Family reunion in February. That is what we're guessing. Again, it's all speculation. Anna probably has more information. I'll talk to her before I leave. Team leads have higher priority to that information than I do. However, that's going to be some cool stuff. So awesome. Well, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to be here. If you do decide to sign up, I do need those forms today.
One more question.
Before I leave. So,
Is there a contract obligation on $6 a month?
yeah, great question. Just 1 year. 1 year. But here's my thing. She had a great question. Is there a contract obligation? It's 1 year. Here's the reality, though. If you don't like it, I didn't prove you value, cancel it. There's a button in there, you can cancel it, to be honest with you. But do you guys want to see what it looks like?
And payment is by the month, right?
By month, yep, it's $50 a month, yep. We lump it out for you. I'll show you guys what it looks like real fast, for those that want to see it. So basically, you just get a login to a portal.
Hey guys, just
1 second, it's going to send me a code. The system does have a lot of my voice in it, so if you don't like my voice, I also say don't get it. I can't listen to my own videos that long, to be honest with you. Maybe it's just me. Fast. Well, it is when you're listening to YouTube for 60 hours. Cool. So when you guys log in, it'll like give you guys reports how far you are into it. You can skip around, do what you want. So like, let's say for example, the custom bracelet. If you've never built a business page, you can obviously watch a video on how to build a business page. Now if you guys realize that this is another topic real fast. Quick story, mistake of mine. Years ago, I lost thousands of dollars because my Facebook account got put into jail. I was the only admin on my Facebook business page. When they shut my personal page off, my ads were still running. You can't fix it if you're the only admin. So my suggestion is on your business page, if you're gonna start running ads, have another admin on your business page, okay? Don't make it an assistant. I've heard horror stories of assistants getting fired and then they turn around and forget they have admin access and they delete their pages. So don't do that, but I would make sure someone else has admin access, whether it's your husband or someone you trust, have them have admin access so that way they can come back and help you. Because if any of you guys can figure out how to get a hold of Facebook, please let me know. I will pay you a lot of money, right?
American Express Black Card, that's all it takes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can have 2 admins.
You can have 2 admins, which, you know, so that's just the point of this video of 18 minutes long, how to build a business page. It's not just about how to build one. It's like, hey, here are your settings to protect you, to make sure you don't run an ad for $100, gets locked out, because that $1,000 ad, I forgot to put the URL in the ad, or it was wrong. It's running, thousands of dollars running, the ad wouldn't have done anything. So basically, you can just click on it, you can click start here, it pops open a screen. It's got my beautiful computer screen on there.
Here bringing you
And you know, I walk you through, click here, click there. Obviously, if things change, we update the videos so that way you guys can learn the most recent, how to make friends list, things like that. So for all the boosted posts, if you guys are like, I forgot how to make a boosted post, how I copy his, things like that. So.
Is it iPad friendly?
It is iPad friendly, very iPad friendly. So cool.
Excellent.
Awesome, thank you guys. Yeah, the PowerPoint. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, let's get a few minutes. Cool. Oh, yeah, to you. Yeah. Oh, thank you. So, you call us on your line?
Click here.
See how it pops it down here?
Our pleasure, thank you.
No. Now you can check it?
I'm not a good Our pleasure.
You say yeah, we're going to like.
So you got some donuts to eat?
No, not me. I've already had enough. You at least live your life. I'm like,
It really helps having
Oh yeah, so what I was saying is like when you compare like my team to someone that's also running ads, like they're just not capturing leads off the link.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all. That's where we're at right now. Yeah, that's what we're about to show. I'm pulling it up right now to show them how to do that.
Ready.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. Thank you guys. Alright, you guys want to stay? Oh, bad.
Names and links. Were you saying that because it's so convoluted here, it's best to have
It's like a count that goes up to 1. Like I have like a sheet that says Katy, Texas groups, and then it lists all of my groups, and they just have links to all my candidates like that group, because it doesn't look very pretty. So, yeah, so on the spreadsheet,